And welcome to Homer's Radio, moredeals.com game of the week. The number 1 Apollo Eagles taking on the number 5 ranked Owensboro Catholic Aces. The teams are at center field for the coin toss right now. I'm Brandon Ward. I'll be doing the color, joined by the play-by-play man, Mr. Vic Evans.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing today?
Ready for a good one, as there's good ones all over the third region tonight.
It is great, especially here in the city. You got, I guess you guys are YouTubing over there with Owensboro and Davis County. But tonight, as you said, it's number 1 Apollo taking on number 5 Catholic. Apollo comes in 4-0, Catholic 2-2, but on a 2-game winning streak. And I think what makes this game so interesting, Brandon, is the contrasting styles that we're going to see as you see the more of the spread it out, throw it around Owensboro Catholic Aces versus the big offensive line and the big running back for Apollo.
That's what we were talking about on the show this past Monday night on the Homer's Radio Network as we were previewing this game. Both teams kind of do what the other one doesn't defend well, so it's going to be interesting to see which gets the better of that contest. And it's a pick'em game. You can't say there's a definitive favorite. Apollo might be ranked number 1. It's a pick'em game in my opinion.
Owensboro Catholic comes in throwing for 290.5 yards per game. They're running for 169. And Apollo's just the opposite. They're throwing for 135 with 232 yards rushing. And, you know, looking at it, Apollo's offensive line has to control the line of scrimmage, in my opinion, for Apollo to pick up the victory and get McKenzie to go off as Mariano comes in with great numbers. He comes in 78 carries for 648 yards and 11 touchdowns. And for Calicut, Harts comes in 67 for 107 with 1,101 yards, 11 touchdowns. And so it ought to be interesting. And Apollo's going to receive and get the opening kickoff.
Got the pyro going. I feel like I'm at a 1998 WWF Raw.
They do always have the best opening ceremonies of anybody in the region with the fireworks show and coming through the big Apollo helmet down there.
Outside of McLean County bringing in a helicopter one time to deliver the game ball, which McLean County, they always do it big, which they got a big-time game tonight, setting at 3-1, taking on 4-0 Logan County.
That'll be a huge. You were talking before the game. You know, depending on outcomes, there's anybody in the top 5 or 6 teams in your Homer's top 10, you know, that could end up being number 1 at the end of the night for next week, for come Monday.
Absolutely, depending on who wins what. Then we could have the top 5 teams. The top 5 teams are all could end up at the number 1 spot come this Monday, depending on how things break.
Pretty easily could.
And that we said that at the beginning of the season. This is going to be the most competitive season we've seen in the third region in 20 years, and it's lived up to it so far.
It has, and especially I think the city teams are about as well balanced as they've ever been since I can remember, you know, going back into the early 80s. And that's what makes it so much fun. And we'll get to listen to it right here. It's the Don Moore, moredeals.com game of the week. And we're getting ready for the opening kickoff. Catholic in the black pants and white tops, and Apollo in their home blue, as Catholic will kick off going right to left on your Mixler dial. And it will be Apollo back at about the 5-yard line as Harrington will be doing the kicking. Let's see. Can you pick up the numbers there, Brandon, on who it looks like 11?
For the Aces is number 45, Sam Harrington.
And number 3, who is
Husk,
who returned a kick in our previous game of the week here at Apollo Eagle Stadium.
Yeah, he took it back about 90 yards against McLean County. And also it'll be Jeffrey Johnson, the wide receiver, will be back deep. He's back there with Husk. As a nice-sized crowd here, the visiting side over there filling in very nicely. A very loud and rambunctious Apollo side, and that's what you expect when it's number 1 versus number 5.
Rivalry game. These games are always heated, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, softball, badminton. I've seen the 2 dance teams square off before over Twitter beef, so it gets personal between these teams.
Apollo got a huge win last year, their first win against Calicut in about 15 years last year. And so Calicut trying to restart a new streak, a little revenge. But then on top of that, Calicut comes in 1-0 in the city county, or 1-1, I'm sorry. They beat Owensboro and lost to Davis County to open the season. Apollo playing their first city county game. And say what you want, I know the playoffs are important, but to the guys here in the city, that city county championship means something.
Absolutely, and you go back and look at Catholic losing to Davis County, you ask yourself, is Catholic the team we saw in the first quarter that hung 20 points up on Davis County in the first quarter unanswered, or the team we've seen in the third quarter?
They've been on a roll the last 2 nights. It'll be a nice high kickoff, and it will be taken by Husk at about the 10. He's going to try to cut in the corner. Got a nice block, and it's a perfect tackle. So he's going to be tackled at about the 22. We got a flag down. I think we're going to get a block in the back against Apollo, which should move it back even farther as they will take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And as we get a break here, as you're giving the penalties, we'll give you the starting line. It'll be Kobe Clark as the quarterback. He's joined in the backfield by Mariano McKenzie and Sam Palm, wide receivers. Dylan Crabtree, Brandon Husk, and Jeffrey Johnson. And then what makes Apollo go? That big offensive line. Left tackle Parker Bates, left guard Taylon Safford, the center Caleb Fulkerson, Chris Schwartz at right guard, and the right tackle Big DC Boone. And they have to play well, I think, for Apollo to get the victory tonight. And they will line up in the pistol formation with 3 wide, 2 in the backfield back there with McKenzie deep, and it's going to be handoff to McKenzie straight at the middle. He's going to maybe get a half a yard as it's well played by the Calicut defense.
Nicely done right there. As you said, the way Apollo's got to win every game, or the way they want to win every game, is with their offensive line dominating, and you've seen they tried to establish it right there. Unable to do so as Catholic got to Mariano McKenzie, our reigning Roads and Roads August player of the month, very quickly.
Calicut's defensive stars on the defensive line: Noah Todd, Tim Settles, and Jaden Hall. Linebackers Von Williams, Dalton Devine, Chris Borman, Sam Harrington, and it'll be Jace Kessler, Yaya Gray, Nick Mills, and Hagan Edge in the secondary. And once again, Apollo 3 wide, 2 in the backfield in the pistol. Clark's going to drop back. He's looking. Now he's got to pull down. He's in trouble. Todd chasing him. He's going to get the corner, but Todd's going to chase him down from behind. He's going to pick up about 2. And there, you don't see this very often. No, the Calic's leading tackler is a defensive lineman.
He started off at linebacker, and they made a huge adjustment, which you got to credit the Catholic coaching staff. They moved him back to defensive end, which is his normal position, and he's looked like one of the best players in the entire region since they moved him back. You look at that Owensboro versus Owensboro Catholic game film, and he is everywhere. He is on Will Warren every time he drops back in the pocket. Actually ended the game with a sack from Noah Todd in that very game.
It's going to be 3rd and 7 as they've got us spotted here to look at about the 18-yard line, 3rd and 7. And talk about Todd comes in with 34 tackles and 4 sacks. He'll be going up against DC Boone. What a matchup that will be. Clark back to pass, looking right down the middle. It's kind of high and high. It's going to be picked off. It's Jace Kessler with the interception. Big, huge block, and he's going to take this one all the way down to about the 25. It's the 4th pick on the year for Kessler as he came in leading the team in interceptions with 3, and that was one that Clark just floated. And that was an easy interception for Kessler coming out. He wasn't the guy guarding the player. He just came out and had way too much air in it, ran underneath of it, and picked it off.
That's the thing I took away from the Border Bowl game. Even though the outcome didn't go the way Catholic wanted, Kessler was out there, and he was playing some of the best defense I'd seen. And I even said it on the show the next night. If he continues to play the way he did in the Border Bowl game, he would be one of the top defensive players in the region. He's played just like that since, and he's leading the Aces in picks.
Calicott takes over on the 27 of Apollo. Hartz. He's going to throw the little wide receiver screen. One guy missed, turns up, he's across the 20, or down to about the 20. He's going to be tackled at about the 19. It's going to be an 8-yard pickup. Hartz to Gray, and it's going to be 2nd and 2. Yaya Gray.
We talked about it after the week 1 performance from the Catholic Aces. Yaya Gray in the first quarter, he was playing defense.
He comes up lipping.
And that goes right into this story I'm talking about. He was playing defense in the first quarter, had to leave the game, and the defense for the Aces never looked the same afterwards.
Look about like a left knee, Calicott now. They'll go 4 wide. Williams in the backfield with quarterback Hartz. Like we said, he came in throwing for over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So like pitch to the outside to Williams. He's going to catch the corner, 1st down and more. Still going, steps out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark him somewhere around, looks like about the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Aces.
Nicely done there by Vaughn. That's the thing that the Aces have been establishing in their winning streak here, this 2-game win streak with an impressive win over Owensboro included, is getting Vaughn Williams involved in the offense.
4 wide again. Hartz rolling to his left. He's looking, firing, hits his man at the 10. He's going to turn it upfield, and he's going to be touchdown Catholic High. 14-yard 9-yard pass to Hagen Edge on the touchdown.
Nicely done right there. Hagen Edge coming off a huge game last week versus South Spencer. I do believe he had 2 receiving touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Picks up right where he left off.
So with 9:24 left to go, Hagen Edge on a 14-yard touchdown pass. And now Harrington will go out to try to make it 7-0. And what a quick start by Catholic. They get a turnover and take it straight in, put 6 on the board. And Harrington is going to make it 7 on the board. So with 9:24 left to go, it's Catholic 7, Apollo nothing. We'll be right back in just a few moments.
Snap, kicks up, it's good! It's good works in football, but when you're shopping price, you want the best. And that's More Value Price. No stumbling, no fumbling. Take it to the house with moredeals.com.
And welcome back to the Don Moore Game of the Week here at Homers Radio. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward as we've got Calicut traveling across town to take on Apollo. They're up 7-0. And, you know, we talk about turnovers being so important. Calicut gets the big turnover just a couple minutes in the game, cashes it in for 7. And with 9:24 to go here, they're up 7-0.
And it was the big playability of Catholic. That's what Stephen A. Turner, Apollo fan, member of the Homer Show, was talking about on the show. As an Apollo fan, he was worried about the big playability of Catholic to be able to hang quick, big play points on the board. And Apollo, they don't want to play like that. They want to mash out this game, make this game go as quickly as possible, and have Mariano McKenzie with 25 carries to get the win.
I figured he has to touch it 25 to 30 times and probably rack up about 115 yards, and you know, for them to win the game. He carried it one time for no gain on the first drive, and now Harrington will kick off again, and this time it will be Husk, and he's going to take it at about the 6-yard line. He's across the 10, 15, 20. He's got a hole, and he slips down out to about the 29-yard line as he slipped there trying to make a cut there, but a nice return out to the 29. It'll be 1st and 10, Apollo taking over at their own 29.
He may have had his second kickoff return touchdown on the Homers Radio Game of the Week, brought to you by moredeals.com, had he not slipped right there, because there was a lot of daylight in front of him.
There was, and so now Apollo takes over 1st and 10. They'll mark it at their own 30. Actually gave him to the 30. And let's see if they try to establish McKenzie here. You would figure he's going to have to see a big dose of it. It's Calicut in there 4-4. Edge walking up, it'll be McKenzie up the middle, runs into his own man, and they got great penetration. Ran into his own man. He's dropped there. It looked like looked like 24.
McKenzie on the carry, brought down by Todd.
It was Noah Todd got the tackle. It was blown up in the middle by looked like big Jaden Hall completely blowing that up. And McKenzie, no gain again, 2 carries and no yards. And that cannot happen if you're Apollo. They got to get yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And after the turnover, the previous trip on offense, Catholic's going to be paying even more attention to that run game because they're going to be a little tentative to pull the trigger on the pass.
Now Clark looking to throw again, looking for the slant. He hits Johnson. He's going to be tackled right there at about the 39. They're going to mark him almost to the 40. This may be the right foot and left foot of whether or not he gets the first down.
That was Yeye Gray with the quick stop right there. Nice tackle.
It's nice to see him back after he limped off. They're going to mark him just a little short. So the 9-yard pass play to Johnson. It's going to be 3rd and about a quarter of the football, it looks like. The tip is just short of the 40. So now it's going to be 3rd and let's call it inches. Clark once again in the pistol. 4 wide. He's going to go to McKenzie. He's going to try to bounce outside. He's going to be stuffed. Edge is in there knocking him back, and he did not get it. It's Hagen Edge filled the hole. He actually probably lost a half a yard. And it's going to be 4th down as once again, we'll call him losing a yard there. At least they lost a half a yard. It's even farther away, and they've got the offense still out there, and they're sending Clark back out there. And this is a huge play this early in the ball game with 7:38 to go and running.
Yeah, we know Hawkins will go for it on 4th. Remember the 4th and 6 that he went for on his own 26 on the border bowl that they picked up. So he's going to roll the dice once again behind this big offensive line, hoping he can pick up a 1st down.
Right now, Calicut's defensive line is dominated. His run blitz coming up. They go straight up the middle, and once again, he did not get it. There was no gain as there was nothing there as he's going to lose another yard. They try to run the fullback right up the middle, and he was stuffed. It was Parm on the run.
Vaughn Williams looked like he was in there very quickly to make that first initial hit to really push the pile back for Apollo.
And what a start by Calicut. The second turnover on downs. And And Calico will start at their 39 of Apollo, 1st and 10, up 7-0 with 7:16 to go. And we talked about Apollo's offensive line, but let's give Calico credit for the first 5 minutes of this game. Their defensive line has completely dominated.
Absolutely. They look like the better unit whenever you talk about them taking on the Apollo offensive line, who we've credited as the best offensive line. I don't think it's really questionable they're the best offensive line in the region. Catholic having their way with them.
Williams, a pitch on the outside. No, it's going to be a reverse to Hogg. He's looking to throw deep. He comes back to get it. It's caught. And it's going to be all at the 15-yard line. 24-yard pass play on the end around wide receiver pass. It was Hogg.
Nick Mills
to
on the
Nick
reception.
Mills, 24 yards.
That's number 4, Harold Hogg, with the pass to number 11, Nick Mills.
Nicely drawn up right there by the Aces, and the Aces are rolling right now. Apollo needs a big play from their defense. You got to look to Quentin Miller or one of the usual known names on the defense to really step up here and make a play.
Well, they come in, they're all 4 linebackers, they're 4 leading tacklers, but what a nice call by first-year head coach Jason Morris, the old end-around wide receiver pass, and now through 2 left, Hart's dropping back, looking, fine, he's looking in the corner, he's got a man, and it's going to be incomplete, I think. No, man, I thought he was maybe juggling a little bit. They gave it to him. It was Yaya Gray from 14 yards out, touchdown.
Aces working like a well-oiled machine right now, rolling through the number 1 Apollo Eagles. 13-0 is your score.
A 14-yard TD pass to Gray makes it 13-0, and I really thought he was juggling as he was going out the back of the end zone, but the official said no, it's a catch, and Harrington Tech is up, and it's no good, so it will stay 13-0 with 6:37 left to go. We'll be right back in just a few moments. And welcome back to the Homers Radio Network, as it's the Don Moore, Moores.com game of the week, and it's Owensboro Catholic jumping out here. We haven't even reached 6 minutes yet. They're up 13-0, and Harrington will kick off once again, and it will go once again to Husk, and he'll take it at about the 9. It's across the 15 to the 20. He runs into a big Calico. He got no farther than the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 Apollo, as what a nice job. It looked like Borman in on the tackle as he ran right into him, and then a swarm of Calicos knocks him down. So 1st and 10 Apollo, and what difference? Apollo started like on their 14, on their 20, and on their 39. Calicos had 2 possessions in Apollo territory after the interception and the turnover on downs.
And Catholic doesn't necessarily need it. The way their offense is moving, I think they could move about 80 yards at ease because they're just slicing through this Apollo defense like a hot knife through butter right now.
After starting 0-2, Calico making their case for being the number 1 team in the Shelby Wheel entire top 10 next week. And it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 20. Once again, Clark in the pistol set. He'll have 2 to his left, 1 wide receiver to his right, 2 in the backfield. Let's see, they try to get McKenzie involved. He's going to fake it, looking out, a little swing pass out. It's caught by Parham. He's going to be tackled at about the 39. It was Gray on the tackle along with Kessler. It's about a 4, maybe 5-yard pickup. Let's call it 5 for Clark.
Yeah, if I see those 2 on that side of the field, I'm not throwing it to my receiver over there because you can see Kessler and Gray were all over the Apollo wide receiver.
Kessler already had his 4th pick of the night. Gray comes in with 2 picks, so you may want to work the other side of the field. And the big stat so far, Apollo with 4 carries, I'd say got 5 carries for 1 yard. And McKenzie's 3 carries for -1. So huge splits by the offensive line. This time they're going to pitch it out to McKenzie, trying to get outside of Todd. He's got a nice tackle there. It's kind of like filling the hole. It looked like it was number 34, Chris Borman. And then, yes, there's always a Borman around the football at Calico.
Wearing number 34. Usually making about 150 tackles a season.
As he picks up 2. So now it's going to be 3rd and let's call it 3 for Apollo. And if you're an Apollo fan, you really need to get this first down just to get something going offensively.
Yeah, you need some momentum. The fans have turned out here, and they've got to be quiet right now watching the ball game. The Apollo Eagles side, Catholic Aces are loving it.
McKenzie up the middle is going to break through the first thing. He's going to run into edge. They're pushing him back. He's only going to pick up 2. He's going to be short. He's going to be short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and about once again a 4th and about a nose of the football. I would be surprised if the Eagles, they're probably going to go for it here. This is one time. Oh, they're going to. No, they waved him on and gave him a first down.
Big placement of the ball right there.
It was.
Apollo was going to have to think about that one long and hard.
That was the old left foot, right foot. Whatever foot he spotted it with was the difference between the first down there. So the first down for Apollo. We got 4:57 left to go. Calico up 13-0. So Apollo now has the football at their own 34, 1st and 10, and once again in the pistol formation with 2 backs back. Clark looking. He's going to throw a jump ball up for Johnson, and that's incomplete as once again Kessler was right there. And that was one, once again, got a ton of air on it. Was just kind of throwing a jump ball up there and expected Jeffrey Johnson to make a play.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do when you're matched up with Kessler or Gray going one-on-one with them. They've got wide receiver skills when it comes to making a play on the ball.
So bring up 2nd and 10. For Apollo. Clark 2 for 4 with 14 yards, 1 big interception. And he will get the play there from their head coach, and they will go out and in the huddle. 4:42 left to go. Catholic up 13-0. And at Apollo, you figure at some point has got to try to, I don't expect them to go away from the run, but they've got to get the running game going. Clark back to pass again. He's going to fire over the middle, and that one's caught by Parham. That's going to be enough for a first down. So he picks up a
big time play. Sam Parham, mainly known last year for his defensive abilities, stepping up in the absence of losing Nick Brooks and Peyton Peters at graduation. We said they were going to have some wide receivers step up. Sam Parham's one of them this season for the Eagles.
And he's now 2 catches for 16 yards. It's 1st and 10 at their own 45. 4:27 to go. Clock running. Now he's got 2 to his right, 1 to his left in the pistol. Got a little wide receiver screen to Johnson. He's going to make one guy miss. He's across the 50. Ran out of bounds by Harrington. He got all the way to about the 47-yard line. Pickup of 8. It's going to be 2nd and 2. And there's Johnson now with his 2nd catch for 17 yards. And I'll give Coach Hawkins credit. Calico has stuffed the run. And I'd have been shocked if you'd told me that, 8 minutes into the game that Clark would already thrown it 8 times or 6 times.
As long as he doesn't throw it in any more Catholic Aces, I think Hawkins will be happy with his quarterback throwing. He trusts him. We've seen him make some big throws last year and this season. Don't really have to rely on him so much this season.
McKenzie breaks through. He's across the 40. Trying to turn. He's being pulled down from behind. Almost a hog call attack. It was Mills with the tackle. He picked up about 9 on the run, all the way down to the 34. First down for McKenzie. So now Apollo with by far and away their best drive, trying to stem the tide here, down 13-0 with 4 minutes to go. They're going to have it 1st and 10 at the Calico 37. And McKenzie there made the first guy miss and then picked up 9.
And more than time are trying to get on the scoreboard to cut into the 13-0 Catholic lead. The Eagles are giving their defense a rest over there on the sidelines right now.
Quick slant to Johnson. He's got the catch, and he is going to take this one to the house. Touchdown, 37 yards away. Clark to Jeffrey Johnson. It was made the cut to go for the interception. Fell down when he hit Johnson, and he was in the clear for the touchdown from 36 yards away.
Nicely done right there to answer back from the Apollo offense. Number 1 Apollo's not going to go down so easy. 13-6 is your score right now.
So Johnson with the 37-yard TD pass or reception. And now Knott will try to cut it to 6. He's been perfect all year long on extra points coming into tonight. Maybe the best kicker in the region. And what a weapon he is. A low snap. Good job by Clark to get it down. And that one will be good. And so with 3:40 left to go, Owensboro Catholic with the lead, 13-7. And we'll be right back with more action here at the Don Moore's Homer's Game of the Week. And welcome back to the Don Moore Game of the Week here at Homer's Radio Network. I'm Vic Evans along with my partner Brandon Ward. As Calico with 3:40 left to go here in the first quarter leads at 13-7. And what a huge answer drive by Apollo there, Brandon.
They needed that one. They needed some momentum. They needed a reason for their fans to get loud. They look like they were not even in Catholic's league those first 3 possessions.
And Knott will boot this one well end zone. That's one reason he's such a weapon. It's just not a return. I think I've seen 2 games of Apollo, and nobody's returned a kickoff yet. So Catholic will take over 1st and 10. Not quite the same starting position. They'll start on their own 25 instead of deep in Apollo territory, their own 20, instead of the Apollo territory. And Hartz has been sharp. 3 for 3, 36 yards, 2 touchdowns so far here in the first quarter, and they will come out. Once again, Williams in the backfield with him in the shotgun. They'll have 4 wide, 2 to each side. And let's see if Apollo's made some adjustments. They're playing man-to-man, and then they got 1 safety back deep. So a lot of man-to-man coverage here, and they've got them so far on the outs. Here comes a blitz. Hart's going to get rid of it quick. He's going to try to swing it to Vaughn, and that one's incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. That's the first time there I saw Apollo coming with a big blitz. Both linebackers came to blitz up the middle there. He rushed to throw a little bit and missed Vaughn.
Yeah, he had to throw it over the Apollo defender, and that's what threw the pass off to make it incomplete. Nicely played by the Eagles.
So 2nd and 10 now. Once again, 4 wide, 2 to each side. Williams in the backfield with Hart. He'll drop back, looking. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Is that Miller?
That's number 72.
Quentin Miller with the sack. And that's going to be an 11-yard loss.
For the Aces.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 21. They got pressure right up the middle with Quentin Miller, who came in with 4 sacks already. He had 26 tackles, leading them in tackles. He had 2 sacks. That was his 3rd of the year. Apollo come in averaging about 4 sacks a game. So it's been pretty impressive. So now 3rd and a bundle for Catholic. Hartz drops back, looking. He's under pressure again. He just barely got out of the end zone. It's about the 1-yard line. He goes down again. No, they're calling the safety.
Another sack.
Nope, 4th down. He got it at about the 1.
For the Aces.
So 2 huge big calls there.
Cruz coming out.
An 8-yard loss and a 2nd sack for Apollo. And now it's going to be 4th and let's call it 30. And now Harrington's got a punt. He's at the back of his end. The ball is spotted at about the half-yard line.
I expect the Eagles to bring the house here.
You would think the Eagles are going to get great field position with this punt. He's got to get rid of it. And this is where you need a good snap, too. Snap is good. The kick is up. A little angle kick is taken on the run there. He's going to cross the 35, cross the 30, 25, down to about the 19-yard line. And that was returned by Gage Hayden. And they're going to spot this one at the 20. 1st and 10 Apollo. So the defense gets a huge stop. They get a big, huge return of about 28 yards by Hayden. And it's 1st and 10 at the 20 for Apollo. And Uncle Mo has taken a huge shift here, Brandon.
And we asked for the big names on Apollo's defense to step up. You've seen Quentin Miller step up on that last possession, get a sack on defense. And then you see right there Gage Hayden with a big return. He's normally a shutdown corner for the Eagles, but he's making his impact felt any way he needs to.
It was the 2nd sack of Apollo that put him at the 1. That was kind of a team sack. There's about 4 guys there. It was like, let's meet at the quarterback. So 1st and 10 at the Catholic 20. Clark, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. He's in the pistol. Parm even with him, and then he's got McKenzie about 3 yards behind him. 1st and 10 Apollo. They're already in scoring position, you would think would not, but they'd like to punch this in as Parm now is going to go in motion. They're going to fake the handoff to him, go to McKenzie at the middle. He's brought to 20. We're going to break a tackle. 15, breaking run. Still on his feet. 10, 5, trying to get to the corner. Touchdown, Williams, or McKenzie.
Mariano McKenzie. Roads and Roads, August Player of the Month. Once again, pay dirt for the Eagles.
And so with 1:47 left to go, McKenzie will tie it up here on a 20-yard TD run. And I'm telling you, he broke 7 tackles on that.
That was nice. We were talking about it whenever we gave him the August Player of the Month, that he's a different player. Instead of looking to run around people, he was running through people, and that's what he did to get that touchdown for the Eagles, and they needed that one.
His first 4 carries of the game, 0 total yards. His last 3, 32, and a touchdown.
I know Stephen A. Turner's probably listening to his Eagles here. That sounds like Mr. Adrian Peterson's numbers from back in the days. You got to keep feeding the beast. Eventually, he's going to break one.
Oh, Apollo has to keep feeding him, and Knott's kick will make it 14-13. With 1:47 left to go. We'll take this quick timeout and be right back in just a few moments. And welcome back here, Homer's Radio Network on Vic Evans on with Brandon Ward. We've got the Don Moore Game of the Week. It's number 1 Apollo taking on number 5 Cali. And with 1:47 left to go here in the first quarter, it's 14-13 Apollo. And Brandon, we were talking during the commercial, I'm not sure you can see such 2 big, huge momentum changes in less than 12 minutes.
Yeah, let's see what the game has to give to us this next possession. As we said, it was a toss-up pick'em game coming into it. Thus far, you can't clearly look at the field and see any great advantage either team has.
No, and so with 1:47, Knott kicks it through the end zone, so Calicut will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. And like I said, the 2 momentum changes here, unreal. And now we'll see how Calicut can answer after Apollo answered their start. You would think Calicut needs a big answer here. So Hearts will take over now. 1st and 10 at their own 20. Once again, they'll be 4 wide, 2 to each side.
They went in the reverse direction they were trying to last time they started this field position.
They're going to pitch this one out to Hogg. He's going to go across the 20, 25, 26. We got a flag, a bunch of flags on the play. He's going to pick up 6 or 7 yards on a run, but let's see what the call is as 2 flags came out.
Flag on the play.
We talked about the Aces, what the difference may be in this game if they're able to defeat the number 1 Eagles is their playmaker ability and their huge playmaker ability. Hogg is one of them. Before I left the house, I was watching this week's Homer Show on YouTube, which you can currently catch Owensboro versus Davis County streaming live on our YouTube channel, Homer's Radio. Just search that on YouTube. But whenever I was doing some research and was looking at the show from last week to get some last-minute tips from the game, the next thing that came on was Davis County versus Catholic. Last year, first game of the season, first kick of the game, Harold Hogg houses it.
So that's a 15-yard face mask penalty. This time they flip it out to Hogg on the left side, and a nice tackle. He's going to pick up about 2, but a nice tackle there. That's number 88. That's Weedman, who drags him down for a 2-yard gain, and that could have been a lot more because there's a lot of room after that. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8, and that was a huge 15-yard penalty on Capallo on the last Hogg run on a face mask. So now 2nd and 8, Apollo has it, or I'm sorry, Calicut has it now at the 46-yard line, their own 46. Now Harsh dropping back. He's going to fire over the middle. He's got his man. It's Harrington. He's at the 40, all the way down to about the 35-yard line. First down, Calicut. He's a 16-yard pass. Harsh to Harrington. A nice little hook up there to the tight end over the middle.
That's Will Barksdale on the tackle for the Eagles. Aces have another first down.
3rd first down for Calicut, moving it 1st and 10 at the Apollo 35. 51.1 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. And once again, they'll have 3 wide. It'll be Williams, it looks like, back in the backfield now with Hearts. And it's a high snap. They give it to Williams. He's around the right side. He's going to pick up 2 or maybe 3. Let's call it 2 yards. He's wrestled down there. Number 42, Dalen Kennedy, in on that tackle.
Number 29, Foster Roach.
And also Foster Roach. So it's called about 2nd and 8.
Haven't seen much from Trey Sanders yet, and if you remember back to last year's Catholic Aces game, that first quarter he dominated. The first half he destroyed the offensive line for the Aces. They're holding him in check right now, which is impressive from the Aces.
He was involved in that game sack, but other than that, that's about it. Now Harts is going to throw the little wide receiver screen. He's tipped up in the air and incomplete as he was trying to hit almost a tight end screen to Todd, and it's incomplete pass.
7.5 yards to go.
And so now it's going to be 3rd and 8 with 18.8 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
They complete that pass to Todd, and he gets some daylight to get going. Good luck bringing him down. That's like getting in front of Gronk.
Yeah, when he's such a big man. He's a rumbler. As he's listed at 6'2", 240, plays bigger than that, and he's just so fast for the guy that size.
That was before breakfast.
Yeah, Harsh rolling out, going to fire under pressure, looking down the middle, tipped away. What a great defensive play there by Apollo. And it looked like Nate Roberts got his left hand in there, and as they've been trying to work the middle there, but Roberts breaks it up with a beautiful play. So it's going to be 4th and 8 for Owensboro Catholic at their 33 of Apollo, and they keep the offense out there, and they're going to go for it. You might as well. Doesn't do any good to punt here. You're too far away for a field goal.
Absolutely.
4th and 8. Harsh, 3 to his right, 1 to his left. He's going to drop back. Apollo with the pressure. Wide receiver screen. He's got to get a bunch of people miss. Still on his feet. And he's going to come up well short of the first down. He picked up about 6 yards, and Apollo will take over with 3 seconds left to go here in the first down. And Needed 8, got 5 on the wide receiver screen.
Apollo played that perfectly. Whenever he got within 3 yards of the first down marker, they had a line of Eagles waiting for him, and they were able to make the tackle and take over. Apollo keeps Uncle Mo on their side of the field.
I'm just not sure I like that on 3rd and 8, throwing a wide receiver. You throw it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and expect Nick Mills to pick up, 10 yards on running, especially when you've had good success with the out passes and over the middle. So now with 3 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Apollo takes over 1st and 10. They got it marked at about their own 27. Once again in the pistol, they're going to go to McKenzie right up the middle, and he's going to get across the 30, out to about the 33-yard line, pick up of about 6, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1, it's number 1 Apollo 14, number 5 Catholic 13. We'll be right back with second quarter action here on the Don Moore Game of the Week with Homer's Radio Network.
Don Moore Automotive.
Snap, kicks up, it's good! It's good works in football, but when you're shopping price, you want the best. And that's More Value Price. No stumbling, no fumbling. Take it to the house with moredeals.com.
And welcome back to the Don Moore Game of the Week here on Homer's Radio Network. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward. Apollo has the football, 2nd and 5. They're on about their own 33-yard line. And just an unbelievable answer by these Eagles. This isn't your dad's Apollo Eagles, as you would have thought. Kalakai jumped out quickly, 13-0. It looked like they were just going to stormroll the Eagles. They came back with 2 touchdown drives to actually take the lead, 14-13, Ward.
We always talk about changing the culture of a program, and that's the culture that's changed at Apollo. Usually if you got them down by that amount, the head starts to slump, the shoulders start to slump, and all of a sudden you have a running clock. Not anymore with these Eagles.
Great adjustments by Apollo. Now we'll see if Kalakai can make the adjustment. As it's 2nd and 5. They're holding play here for the TV. Looks like we got a little TV commercial timeout, so they're holding play up.
But the Eagles are ready to go. They're like, we got the momentum right now. Give us that ball.
Yeah, it's a media timeout. So it's 2nd and 5.
That wasn't us, Eagles fans. Don't blame us for that.
No, that is the TV. I think it's Channel 7's here. I think it's Channel 7's here.
I don't know.
Televising the game.
Homer's Radio is the only one I pay attention to.
And while we got a second here, I hear you guys have got a brand new sponsor for Davis County. You just picked up a new sponsor.
Black Diamond Pest Control. Got to have the first Thundercat of the week of the 2018 season, Mr. Joey Cambron, who went for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in a quarter last week.
In a quarter.
So I think that deserves the Thundercat of the week, brought to them by Black Diamond Pest Control of Southern Kentucky.
You can reach them at 270-282-8586 or online at bdpest.com. I know you guys wanted to get that out there, so now Apollo takes over, 2nd and 5. They're at their own 33. Parham in motion. This time they're going to hand it to him. He's going to break free across the 40. Down to about the 41. He's finally wrapped up and tackled there by Kessler. And he picks up 7 yards on the run for another Apollo first down. They're 4th now. They'll take over 1st and 10 at about the 41-yard line. A nice little counter trap there as Parham in motion heading to the fullback.
That's a flashback to sophomore Sam Parham right there when he was doing a little bit of running back, and he looked like he hadn't forgotten many of his skills right there. It was a nice run as he picked up, found his blocks and followed them nicely.
Well, 1st and 10 at their own 41. Apollo, once again, they'll stay in that pistol. Looks like he's got 2 to his left, 2 to his right. Parham, once again, will go in motion. Going to fake it to him. They go to McKenzie up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed. They're going to give him, looks like about a yard straight up the box. As there's a bunch of Kalakais there in a tackle. As they slow McKenzie down for the first time in a while. They give him maybe about a half-a-yard pickup. And so that'll be, we'll call it 2nd. We'll just leave it at 2nd and 10 here. They may have got a nose of the football. Actually, they have it marked. He got 0 gain.
We talk about how much better the Aces defensive line has looked since week 2 of the season. I talked about the change of putting Noah Todd back up there. They also got Jordan Puckett back, who's one of the best in the region, who's doing some pretty good work right now for the Catholic Aces.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Ball at the 41. Apollo in their pistol set. Clark going to drop. Looking for the wide receiver screen. Going to swing it out here to Husk. You got to make a couple guys miss. He gets 1 to miss. The ball's taken away from Harrington, but no, they're calling him down. They were calling him down. It was Hagen Edge on the tackle, and as Hagen Edge was making the tackle, Harrington reached in and ripped it out, but they called him down. So he's going to pick up about 2 on the pass play.
Herring's is just a smart football player, just a smart athlete in general. Anything I've seen him attempt to do, he's done at a very good level at any sport.
He's always been like the MacGyver player of the year. He does a little bit of everything. Tight end, linebacker, punt, kick. Just a Swiss Army knife to have on your team.
Reminds me of Jacob Mulkey a few years ago for the Aces, who did everything for him on defense for the Aces football team. Did a lot for him in the baseball and walked onto the court in basketball and was one of the best.
3rd and 8. They're at the 43. Clark dropping back. Ty got a little bit of pressure. Now he steps underneath. Boom, hey, got away with the hold. Now Clark running into trouble. Makes one guy miss. Going to turn upfield. Ran out of bounds. It was Borman running him out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So he picked up about 2. And I would think probably here you would think Apollo would punt as they got the ball. They're going to mark it at the 46-yard line, their own 46, and not is going out there. It's going to be 4th and about 5. So a nice step up for Calicai's defense. Boom may have got away with the hold there, but Todd flushed him out of the pocket, and it was Borman that cleaned him up after he made a couple guys miss.
And a nice answer from the Aces defense to force the Eagles a punt here. Eagles going with a good decision here to punt it, in my opinion. Now that they've got the lead of the game, they want to just grind this clock out and play field position.
Yep, not with a big high punt. It's going to bounce. It's going to take a Calici bounce at about the 25.
Did it hit a Catholic player?
I don't think so. I think it just he had a little backspin on it, and now they're going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 28.
If it didn't, it had a heck of an opportunity to hit a Catholic player.
Close, but that looked like my wedge. He had a little one in there that just backed it straight up, and Apollo downs it. So it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Calici, who scored on the first 2 drives, but Apollo made a few adjustments and has held them the last couple times. Once on downs, and then once after a couple sacks made him punt. With 9:38 here to go in the second quarter, it's 14-13 Apollo, and Harts will come out 4 wide, 1 in the backfield with him. Looks like Williams. Hart's going to drop back. Got plenty of time. Now it's going to break down. Now he's going to find his outlet man. It's going to be incomplete as that one's dropped by number 15, Braden Mundy, in his hands and out. He had a little bit of time, but then the time broke down as Apollo got to him.
That was number 36, Cameron Baker, that put the hit on him, that made sure that he didn't make that completion.
Baker, one of the linebackers there, he came in with 24 tackles coming into the night. We talked about how the 4 linebackers for Apollo, Nate Stewart, Quentin Miller, Dalen Kennedy, and Cameron Baker were their 4 leading tacklers. Got now 2nd and 10. Harts once again 4 wide, 2 to each side. Snap is high. He brought it down with his right hand. Now he's going to try to count the right corner. He had chances to run, but he's got a man wide open. Hagen Edge goes up and makes a great catch by Hagen Edge all the way down to about the 42-yard line.
5 of the Aces with a tremendous catch for a large gain.
So a 30-yard pass play to Hagen Edge. And I tell you what, if he'd have hit him in stride,
he was gone.
He was gone. He had his man beat by about 4 yards, and the pass was high. But Edge went up and made an unbelievable catch. His 2nd catch now for 44 yards. But that was one, if Harts puts it on the money, it's 6.
Go to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. McLean County and Logan County tied at 7. Hope the McLean County Cougars, it's a battle of the Cougars. Hopefully McLean comes out of the battle of the Cougars victorious.
Harts drops back. He's got plenty of time. Looking down the middle. He's looking for Kelsey, and he goes incomplete. Almost tried to grab it with one hand. He went up with his left hand, just couldn't haul it in as the ball popped free as he hits down. As Barksdale was on the coverage, and that'll be 2nd and 10, all back to the 43-yard line for Catholic. At Apollo's 43, and I tell you, that was almost the 2nd unbelievable catch for the Aces as Kelsey went up with his left hand and almost brought that in one-handed.
Yeah, Kessler went up and tried to do his best Odell Beckham impression as Jace Kessler continues to play out of his mind.
So Calici is actually kind of spreading the field now and taking some deep shots. And now they'll go Williams up the middle. He's going to cut it back. He's got a tackle drug down there. It looked like it was number Nate Stewart with the tackle, but he was able to drag him for about 4, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Williams now 3 carries, 10 yards.
Brings up 3rd and about 5 or so.
3rd and 6, 4 wide, 2 to each side. Once again, Hart's in the shotgun. Catholic, hurry up offense here. He's going to roll out to his right, and he's going to set. He's going to fire. He's got Harrington deep, and he just overthrowing as Harrington had his man beat. It was Kennedy on the coverage, but Harrington had him by a couple yards, but it was Hart's was just long on the place, and now it's going to be 4th and 6 at the 39-yard line, and I'd say Kelikai here will have to go here for it.
Very uncharacteristic to see Hart's miss on 2 passes. He's cost himself 2 touchdowns in this possession, just being a little bit off on the pass.
Yep. Hagen Edge was able to bring that one in, but Harrington had Kennedy beat. He had him by about 2 yards. He just overthrew him at about the 7-yard line by a couple yards. 8:26 here to go. 14-13. Apollo with the lead. 4th and 6 for Kelikai. Hart drops back. He's going to fire, and it's complete. Broken tackle. Nope, stepped out of bounds. It was Yeye Gray. First down for about a 12-yard pickup to Gray. First down, the Kelikai Aces.
Going to move the chains for the Aces. And like we said earlier in the game, whenever Apollo was able to do so, that's big for your defense because it seems like the Aces defense has been out the majority of the game past those first 3 possessions.
They're now at the Apollo 28, 1st and 10, as Hart's really stepped in and threw a shot to Gray on 4th and 6 to pick up 12. Then they'll stay in the shotgun 4 wide. Hart's looking. Now he's going to swing it out here to Vaughn. And he's hit!
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa, that was red the entire way. Number 20, was that 29 or 23?
Foster Rose.
29, Foster Rose drops him for about a 5-yard loss.
And I was zoomed in right on that. If you're listening to the game, check out YouTube.com/Homers Radio. On Mondays, we'll have this game up, and you can see the video from the game because that hit, you need to see it.
He read that entire way. He saw the swing pass coming the entire way and never broke stride. A nice job by Williams to hang on to it. So 2nd and 16. Hart's, it's a full-blown blitz, wide receiver screen, in and out of the hands as he was looking for Mills, and he dropped it. And that one, I don't know if he could have gone anywhere with it anyway, but that was one that they were trying to. They got the perfect call on the blitz. The wide receiver screen just dropped it.
It looked very similar to that last play where Apollo on the Catholic receiver. That might have been in Mills' heads a little bit there to not catch that ball. That's what big hits will do.
Now it's going to be 3rd and 16. They got the ball spotted at the 33-yard line for Catholic High. And you figure you're in 4-down territory, so you don't have to get it all back here. Just get you a chunk of it and give you 4th and manageable here. Hart's once again 4 wide. The Eagles once again playing man-to-man across the field. They've done all night long. Now the linebackers don't come. Now Miller's going to roll out. Now he's looking deep, and he's incomplete as he was trying to find Hagen Edge. Overshot him about the 7-yard line. And it's going to bring up 4th and long. And I'm curious to see if maybe Morris tries to punt here to try to pin him deep, or do you go for it? I think I'd punt it here and try to pin him deep.
The way the game flow's going right now, with it being a 1-point game, I think I'm playing field position right now.
And it looks like they are bringing the punting unit on as Harrington will drop back to punt as it's 4th and 16. So the big play by Foster Rowe, who made a big, huge loss on 1st down, stymies the Kelikai drive. And now it will be 4th and 16 as the punting unit comes out. They're at the 33-yard line. And this is one Apollo makes they want to get a good catch. Good punt. Now he's having trouble picking it up. Now he gets it up, and this punt's going to go nowhere. They're just going to get away from it. It does take an Aces bounce, though. It's going to bounce around about the 13-yard line before it's blown down. So with 7:17 left to go, it's Apollo 14, Kelikai 13. We'll be right back in just a few moments. And welcome back to the Don Moore Game of the Week here on Homers Radio Network. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward. Apollo leading 14-13 with 7:17 left to go. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. As Kelikai pinned them back with the punt. Now Apollo comes out 3 wide, 2 in the backfield. They're going to go straight at the middle of McKenzie. He's going to break it out to the left side. Fighting through. He's all the way out to about the 20s. He's drugged down. It looks like number 36 in on the tackle for Kelikai. It was Jack Hamilton. And it's a pickup of 7 from McKenzie, up to 44 yards now. And it's going to be 2nd and 3. And I tell you what, Hamilton, if he didn't hang on there, McKenzie could have been off to the races.
Yeah, he needed to break one more tackle, and he may have been gone for a second touchdown of the game. 14-13 is your score in this one. Apollo leads Catholic. 6:45 left to play in the first half.
Once again, 3 wide in the pistol set. McKenzie, this time he goes to Parham, straight up the middle, and he's going to drag through for, it looks like about a yard and a half gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. We'll call him getting 2. 3rd and 1. It's a big 3rd down here for Apollo as you're deep in your own territory, and you think you need to get a first down here to try to not have to give the ball back to Calicut, just here, deep in your own territory.
Yeah, you want to flip the field position if you're going to have to get rid of this ball, and it's going to take a picking up of a first down to do so. And right now the Catholic defensive line ain't allowing it.
So 3rd and 1. Ball spotted at about the 22-yard line. Once again, 2 to his right, 1 to his left in the pistol. This time it's McKenzie up the middle. He's hitting the backfield. And he's going to have an unbelievable run. That's maybe as good a 2-yard run as you're going to see to get the first down, as he was drilled in the backfield and he was spun out of it and was able to pick up 2 and get the first down for Apollo. What an individual effort by Mariano McKenzie, up to 46 yards rushing now.
Once again, the difference in Mariano McKenzie this year is his strength. I think it has a lot to do with strength and conditioning coach Matthews over there at Apollo, as he just pure strength got that first down for the Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 24. Clark drops back, looking, plenty of time. He's going to fire, looking deep, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Husk, and Gray was actually a little closer to that one as he was trying to hit the big 20-yard out, and just couldn't get to connect to Husk as he threw that one out of bounds. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Got to try one of those every once in a while if you're the Eagles, just to keep the defense honest. They've had the success throwing the ball over the middle of the field, and they've struggled throwing it outside the numbers. You would think they would try to keep it between the hash marks, maybe use Parham or even Johnson on the slants has been very successful so far. Johnson was one we've talked about, a big play hitter for Apollo is what they need, and Johnson's the one that looks like he has the ability to step up and be that. 2nd and 10, they throw it out, looking again outside the numbers. He was looking for Johnson, and that one's incomplete. He threw that one wide as Clark has struggled throwing out around the numbers. And like I said, he's been very successful throwing it in the middle of the field between the hash marks, and that one falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 now at about the 24-yard line with 5:27 left to go. And a big, huge 3rd down as Calicut looks to get the Apollo Eagles off the field and get the football back for their offense that has stagnated a little bit and give it up for the Apollo defense. So Calicut scored on the first 2 drives, but Apollo has shut them down since then. 14-13, 5:27 left to go. Clark 3 wide. Going to fake the handoff, looking back, a little wide receiver screen to Parham. He's got one man to beat. He's going to turn that fit across the 35 to the 40. Still on his feet, weaving 45 all the way down to about the 46-yard line. It's a huge 22-yard run, pass and run on the screen pass. It's going to be a first down for Apollo, and what a call on the screen pass for 22 yards to Parham. That reminded me of a former Apollo Eagle that used to play here a couple years ago, Mr. Ray Lewis, once you got the ball in his hands out in the open field, as he was making some cuts and leaving defenders in his wake. Yeah, but Lewis did it in a lot faster motion. Parham was running kind of in a slow motion cut when you compare it to Rates Lewis. Yeah, Rates Lewis has that quick twitch that you just can't teach. You don't pick that stuff up in practice. And we're going to have a false start on Apollos. They had somebody leaning forward, so that'll cost them 5. And it's going to be look like a dead ball false start call, so now it'll be 1st and 15. It was at the 46. It'll drop back to the 41. It's been other than had a face mask earlier, been a pretty penalty-free game. I think it's a 2nd on Apollo. Calicut yet to be called for one. Gotta love that if you're the Aces. Actually going to mark it at the 42-yard line. 1st and 15. 4:57 left to go. 14-13 Apollo. All the scoring in the first quarter. So Calicut jumped out to a 13-0 lead. And Apollo on their next 2 drives put 2 scoring drives back together to make it 14-13. Now the defenses are starting to stand up and get some stops. So 1st and 15. Clark 2 to his left, 1 to his right. They're going right to left on your dial. Clark looking. Now he's under pressure. Now he's going to pull down. He's got the corner. He's got 5, 6, 7-yard pickup just short of the 50. And that was a nice job as he picks up about 7.
Keeper makes his way out to midfield.
That's another way that they can utilize that passing game. If the passing game, if you're a little bit tentative to pull the trigger on it, you can always have Kobe Clark, who has decent wheels, go out there and get you some yards with his legs. That's what he did right there for the Eagles.
Yeah, he comes in as the second leading rusher for Apollo, 17 carries for 94 yards, as McKenzie is the bulk of their offense on the ground. He's averaging over 160 yards a game. And this time on 2nd and 3, they go to McKenzie. Or 2nd and 7, straight up the middle. He's going to cross the 44 of Calicut. He's going to be really close for the first down, as he's going to be just a little short. He picked up 6.
Mariano McKenzie was a shoestring tackle away from taking that one to the house. That was a great job done by the Catholics defender there, who was the last line of defense between Mariano McKenzie and the end zone.
He comes up a yard short. They got it marked just short of the 44 for Calicut. He needs to get to about the 43, so we'll call it about a yard and a half. 4:13 left to go, clock running, and Apollo lining up once again in that same formation, the pistol formation. McKenzie now is going to bounce it outside, 45. He's at the 40, cuts it inside, 35, 20, all the way down to the 20-yard line. He's wrapped up from behind from Hagen Edge, but he rips off a 24-yard gain, 1st and 10, as he rips off 24, and now we've got a timeout. It looks like Calicut calling the timeout, as McKenzie started to go up the middle, bounced out to the left side of the offensive line. Bates and Seyfried had just collapsed that, and he ripped it off for 24 there, Ward.
Yeah, that was nicely done right there. Just feeding the workhorse right now is what Apollo's doing, and that's what you want to do, is just you keep the nominee well fed in the game. We said if you're Apollo, you want him with 25 carries in the game. That's what they're heading towards so far.
He's at 13 carries, 76 yards, and think about it, his first 4 carries brought you a total of 3 yards. So since then, his last 10, he's gotten 73 yards, having 7.3 a clip in the last 10 carries, and that's Apollo football.
That's classic workhorse football. It's like I was saying earlier, go back games for Adrian Peterson in his heydays. It would be exactly like that. It'd be a run for 1, a run for 3, a run for 4, 74 yards, boom. Eventually the defense gets tired of tackling a grown man like that.
Yep, came in tonight, 78 carries, 648 yards. It's 162 a game, 11 touchdowns. And I said I thought he had to have 25 touches and 150 yards, and he's on pace for that right now. And Apollo leading 14-13. They're going to have it 1st and 10. They're at the Calicut 20 with 3:58 to go. McKenzie once again over that left side in behind Bates and Seyfried. He's going to pick up about 6 before they tackle him down. And he's going right over top of that left side of that offensive line. The big sophomore, Parker Bates, leading the way for McKenzie. It's going to be 2nd and 4 at the 14.
It's always nice when you can run behind a guy that's already picked up an offer from an SEC school. Yeah, UK, speaking of, a big win over Florida this past weekend.
How about that? It'd be typical UK football to lose to Murray this weekend. So it's going to be 2nd and 4 at the 14 with 3:23 to go. Clock still running. And once again, McKenzie in the backfield. This time they're going to hand it to him. He's trying to get outside the right side. He cuts it back up the middle. He's going to pick up a couple. As that way he couldn't get outside. It was a nice job out there to make him turn back in. And he was wrapped up by big number 77 for Catholic. And that is Jordan Puckett as they turn him back in. He picked up 2. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. As you would think you're well within Knott's field goal range. I don't know if it's 4-down territory, but 3rd and 2. It always kills me how big a wide splits that offensive line from Apollo gets. 3rd and 2. This time they're going to pitch it out to his left. Well, he's going to turn it up, driving, and he is going to be close. He's going to be marked at just maybe between the 11 and 12, so he may come up about a half a yard to a yard short.
It's going to be an interesting call right here.
It's going to be 4th, and then let's call it a yard.
Going for 3 because here comes Knott.
And Knott's going to come out.
McKenzie gets positive yardage, but shy of the line of the game. Brings up 4th.
Apollo with a 1-point lead, 14-13 is your score. 2:13 left in the first half. Apollo going to try to make it a 4-point advantage right here.
Let's see where they're going to spot this down at about the 19-yard line. So it's going to be a 29-yard field goal by Knott. They've had trouble. They had one of the extra points. They had a low snap. So Knott from 29 yards out trying to stretch it out to a 4-point lead for the Eagles. The snap is good. Clark gets it down. Knott's kick is up. And no doubt about it, right down the middle. So with 1:46 left to go, it makes it now 17-13 for Apollos. They've run off 7 straight points here in the second quarter. And we'll be right back to finish up the second quarter in just a few moments.
Welcome back to the Homers Radio Network as we'll go to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard before we get back to game action. Callaway 7, Hancock 6, McLean County 13, Logan 7, OHS 7, Davis County 0.
So we talked about great games. They all seem to be pretty close so far here early and going in the early halves of these games around the region. Not kicking off from his 40, up 17-13, and he will boot this one well into the end zone, and Apollo or Catholic will take over 1st and 10. We talked about what a weapon he is.
Because you got Hogg standing back there and Mills, who both have the ability to house a kick if they give the opportunity to them. Not with Mr. Knott in the game.
He's going to make you go 80 yards. He's just not going to give you a chance to return it. So with 1:46 left to go, 2 timeouts, plenty of time for Calicut here to put points on the board. Plus, they get the ball to start the second half. So you'd like to try that Patriot double up that Tom Brady's so good at.
Yeah, you can say that the end of the first quarter and the second quarter went the Eagles' way. If it goes the Aces' way the rest of this first half and then the beginning of the next half, they're in the lead all of a sudden.
Yep. A little wide receiver screen. He's going to be tackled from behind. What a great read out there. And he's going to lose yardage on the wide receiver scheme. Looked like he was hitting the gray on the wide receiver screen, but he was tackled immediately. Loss of 3 on the play.
Looked like Nathan Roberts, number 81, was the first one in there.
And now Gray, he walks off again, limping on his left leg. He walked off earlier with left leg problems. He did it again there. And so now clock's still running. It's 1:13 to go. It's going to be 2nd and 13. Calicut not really rushing here. And now they're going to come again with the blitz. Hart's looking over the middle. He's going to find Hagen Edge. He's going to be wrapped up and tackled at about the 20. So a pickup of 3. What a great open field tackle right there.
Cameron Baker on the tackle. Read it like a book, number 36 for the Eagles. He's had several good defensive plays already for the Eagles.
Now it's going to be 3rd and 10. I'm surprised Apollo didn't call a timeout maybe here.
They might start wanting to think about it here.
44 seconds to go. Calicut in no hurry. It's 3rd and 10. Now Hart's going to drop back. Looking. Firing deep down the middle. Looking for Edge. And it's going to be incomplete. It was Cameron Baker once again on the coverage as he couldn't hit Ed. Cameron Baker on the coverage as he was trying to hit Edge on the seam route. So with 30.9 seconds left, Apollo up 17-13. It's 4th and 10. Aces at their own 40. And a nice job there by Apollo. And they still have quite a few of their timeouts left. If you can get a good return here with Knott's distance, you may be able to try to find a way to get 3 here.
That's what they're probably going to contemplate, is just getting field goal range here. Don't pass the ball and do anything unnecessary to turn the ball over. Just getting 3-point range.
Parham, he muffed the pick up. Now he picks it back up, and he's going to be tackled down right there.
That's going to hurt him on the field goal opportunity possibilities.
Yep. Nice tackle there by Jack Hamilton. They will take over at the 43, and I'd say with 21.2 seconds left, may give it to McKenzie here and see if he can pop one. If not, just take a knee and go into halftime with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Apollo do anything too extraordinary right here. Just take it to the house and enjoy a 4-point lead at half if you're the Eagles, especially coming off the way this game began. It looked like it was going to be all Aces the first 5 minutes of the ball game.
It's going to be a steamroller. And actually, they're just going to line up in the victory formation here, and they're going to take a knee and take this to half. There's Clark, takes a snap. And he will. No, it's a fake. He throws the pass. He hits Johnson over the middle down to the 41. Timeout. And now all of a sudden, you may have it. Is that they were in the victory formation, faked the knee, and hit Jeffrey Johnson over the middle for a 15-yard gain.
I'll tell you what, if you're an Apollo fan and not completely bought into Coach Hawkins at this point, I don't know what you're doing, because that was absolutely brilliant right there. Got an Eagle down on the play. It looks
Johnson
like a
who
cramp.
made the catch.
It's going to be a cramp, I do believe.
He made the catch. That's now his 4th catch for 68 yards and a touchdown.
He's had a nice game.
16 seconds left. Apollo still has 2 timeouts. I'm not sure. What do you think Knott's range is? You think it's 40?
I think 45. I would try it at anything 45 and under.
Well, you got to figure here, even if you can get it, even if you got to maybe try 50, it's going to be the last play of the half. So, you need about 15 more yards. If you can get it to the 20, about 15 yards will get him in that 40 to 45 yard range.
And the thing about distance, the Aces defensive line, they're just going to have to jump and time it right, and they're probably going to be able to block it because you got to kick it so low to get it that distance. They'll have a good chance to block it if they do attempt one that long.
So then now they've got the ball at about the 42. Get to the 25-yard line. You need about 17 yards would get you a 45-yarder. 16 seconds left to go. 3 wide, 2 to his left, 2 to Clark's right, 4 wide. Clark dropping back. Got plenty of time. Now it kind of breaks down. Now he's looking. Now he's going to fire. Hits his man over the middle. He's down to the 20. Von Williams makes the tackle, and it's all the way down to the 20. Sam Parham with the 21-yard pass play, and all of a sudden now you're well within range.
A reigning Eagle of the Week, Sam Parham, having a phenomenal game, trying to get back-to-back Eagle of the Week awards brought to you by Heritage Park Daycare.
So now it's 1st and 10. They got the ball marked at the 20. They still have timeouts left, so you may be able to get McKenzie up the middle here to try to get the ball centered and see if he can pop one and then take your timeout and kick your field goal.
I might go draw and look at like I'm going to pass and give McKenzie the opportunity to do just that.
He's got 4 wide. You can't hold on to it too long with 8.1 seconds left to go. Clark needs to get rid of it. Firing to the end zone. He's going to throw that one away. And with 1.7 seconds left.
Perfectly done.
Pass ball's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line.
And we've got a timeout called by Apollo. And I see Coach Hawkins waving at not. So he will come out, it looks like, and try the 37-yard field goal attempt. And that was the one thing I didn't like about the pass play. The one thing you got to worry about is when you start running around back there with just 8 seconds left to go, you don't want your quarterback to run the half out.
I'm sure Coach Hawkins and the staff let Clark know before that play, you've got a clock in your head, you better be counting, and once you get to 2, get down. That's what he did.
Yeah, at 4, you got to get rid of it, and he throws it, it goes out the back of the end zone with 1.7 seconds left to go. So now they'll bring out not, and the ball will be marked at the 20. You figure 7 yards on it'll be about a 37-yard field goal. He definitely has plenty of leg for this. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. It'll come down to the snap and the hold, and if Catholic can get their hands up like I was talking about, like on a deep field goal like this, he will have to not put as much arc as he traditionally does on a kick.
So Kobe Clark's at the knee at the 27. He will be the holder. Not from 37 yards out. Try to give the Eagles a 7-point lead. It's a good snap. The kick is up, and it is
money.
No, wide left. Wide left.
And it was good from 20 yards.
It was good from 50. And that will bring us to the end of the first half here. Your Don Moore Game of the Week at Homer's Radio Network. And at the end of 1, it's Apollo 17, Catholic 13. We'll be right back in just a few moments.
Snap, kicks up, it's good! It's good works in football, but when you're shopping price, you want the best. And that's More Value Price. No stumbling, no fumbling. Take it to the house with moredeals.com.
The thing that we have, we want to be a different sports bar. My name is Larry Clark. I'm the general manager here at Legend Sports Bar and Grill. The main thing that we want to do was to have a sports bar more upscale. You know, we offer steaks, we offer salmon, different seafoods, calamari. So just a different environment for people to come to and enjoy the game. We offer an opportunity for people to come in with larger parties, make reservations. We have our back room, semi-private party room. You know, if they want to do their fantasy league picks or whatever during the season, it's a good time to bring in, large parties and just sit back and enjoy the games. We're just different in the fact that we offer a few more things that normal sports bars don't. Please come and join us here at Legend Sports Bar and Grill, located in Owensboro, Kentucky.
And welcome back to Homer's Radio Network and the Don Moore's Game of the Week. And it's Apollo leading Calicut 17-13. We're getting ready to start the third quarter. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward. And Brandon, what a first half.
It's as close as we said it was going to be. We said it was a pick'em game going into it. We said it was a pick'em game Monday night on the Homers Radio Network, which, by the way, you can check out a brand new edition of the Homers Show this Monday live right here where you're listening to this very game at. As we'll have a brand new top 10 brought to you by Shelby's Wheel and Tire. And the way the games are going tonight, it's going to be a very interesting top 10. You want to tune in for sure.
Let's kind of recap the scoring. Calicut got it started at the 9:25 mark as it was Hagen Edge with a 14-yard TD reception from Hart's. Kick was good, 7-0. Then at 6:35 of the first quarter, it was Yaya Gray with a 14-yard TD reception from Hart's. They missed the kick, but since then it's Apollo as Johnson had a 37-yard touchdown reception at the 3:40 mark, and McKenzie had a 20-yard touchdown run at the 1:45 mark. And in the third quarter, all they had was a 29-yard field goal by Wesley Knight to give us our 17-13 score. And Knight will kick off to Owensboro Catholic to start the second half here. And they've got a couple guys deep, Hogg and Mills back deep. And let's see if they get a chance to return. They've yet to have a chance to return one tonight as Knight has kicked everything in the end zone. And this kick is up. And it is going to be in the end zone again, so Calicut will take over 1st and 10 at their 20. And a nice job by Apollo's defense. Calicut got off that great start, but Hart's was just 10 of 19 for 94 yards in the first half, 2 touchdowns. And in running, 7 rushes for -1 yard for Calicut when you add in the sack totals. And what a job there by the Apollo defense making the adjustments after a great start by Calicut, Ward.
Another thing we talked about on the Homer Show is if Catholic's playing the game they want to play, they're dominating the offensive line and getting Vaughn Williams going. He might not be running for 150 yards on 15 carries, but you want to get Vaughn Williams 5 yards a carry for the Aces to get the offense going.
He's been averaging 100 yards a game, about 103 yards a game coming in. He's got 3 carries for 10 yards, and they go right up the middle with him, and he's going to be wrapped up quickly. May pick up about 1. There's a nice tackle there by Apollo. A bunch of them right there in the middle. He picks up a yard, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 9 for Apollo, or for the Calicut Aces. The ball at the 21-yard line. They wrapped up Williams. Now 4 carries, 11 yards.
Checked out some scores at halftime. McLean County 13, Logan County 14 in that ball game at halftime.
And Hart's hits Mills there as he rolled out to his right, hit Mills on the little out. He's going to be right at the first down marker. Looks like they're going to mark him. So where they have him marked at. This guy has him marked short of. He's going to be short of 30. So he got about 8 yards on the pickup. And Hart's to Mills, just his 3rd catch. 8 yards, going to bring up 3rd and 1. They got it marked at the 29-yard line. I don't think Calicut's fans and Coach Morris was too happy about that spot. But it's going to bring up 3rd and 1 now. Hart's in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide on each side of him. Williams in the backfield. He's going to go to Williams straight at the middle. He's going to cross the 30, 35, 40. Got a flag on the play. He's all the way out to about the 47-yard line. He ripped off about 17 yards, but I think we're going to have a hold on Mills. I think it was on Mills, the wide receiver, with the hold. That's going to be their first penalty on the Aces, so that'll wipe out the first down run for Williams of 17 yards. That's when he already had the first down, and the Mills reached out and grabbed the defender, and it's going to cost him.
Mills doesn't believe he did so, judging by his reaction. He's still trying to get an explanation from the officials. Normally a very smart player. You don't see him make that type of mistakes very often.
So instead of having the ball 1st and 10 at the 49, it's going to be about 3rd and 5 all the way back to the 25-yard line. It's a spot foul. So now 3rd and 5. Hart's once again 4 wide with Williams in the backfield with him. And they're going to hand this one off to Williams across the left side. He's got a huge hole. 35 makes the guy miss across the 40. 45, 1 man to beat. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. And he was knocked all the way down to about the 15-yard line as Williams, with his biggest run of the night, let's call it 60 yards.
That's Mr. Vaughn Williams with a big.
And it'll be further. Nope, they're going to mark it about the 22, so he's going to go for about 56 yards.
First down and 10 for the Aces.
Couldn't start either half much better if you're in Catholic Aces. They come out of the gates dominating at the beginning of the first half, and right here at the beginning of the second half, still trail by 4. Do the Aces.
1st and 10, Hart's rolling out to the right, looking for Mills, and Mills went on the short out. Hart's thought he was going to the post, and he got drilled on the throw by Weedman, and Hart's shaking out some cobwebs on that one as Weedman drilled him from behind.
We've seen Hart's take some big hits this season. He's just seems to bounce up from him as he is right there. He's kind of rubbing his left arm, it looks like a little bit.
He's talking to the referee, and it looks like they're going to take not going to take a timeout. So it'll be 2nd and 10. He was looking for Mills to go deep. Mills cut off the route, so incomplete. 2nd and 10, about the 24. A pitch outside. That's going to be Hogg, and he's going to be no gain on the plays. He's boxed up. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Brings up 3rd down.
Like Trey Sanders was in on that tackle for the Eagles, along with about 4 other ones as they rushed the ball carrier there.
Now Williams checks back in for Hogg. 3rd and 10 at the 24-yard line. Apollo's 24. 10:27 to go. Apollo leading 17-13. The opening drive here in the second half is Calicut deep in Apollo territory after a huge 56-yard run by Von Williams. And now 3rd and 10. 4 wide receivers again. Hartz is going to roll out. Looking under pressure. Fires. He hits Mills. Going to turn it upfield. He's going to be about the 14. That should be enough for a first down. Depending on the spot, he's going to be about the 14. Yep, it is going to be a first down. Hayden on the tackle, but Mills will pick up 11 on the play. 1st and goal now as they mark him at about the 8. They've really been successful with those out plays to both Mills and Edge throughout the night.
Aces on the move right now as they've came out of the locker room ready to roll.
1st and goal at the 8. Hartz going to be Williams up the middle. He's got a big hole. Going to cut up the middle, fighting for the end zone, and touchdown Williams from 8 yards out. What a great answer drive by Calicut as they score with 9:45 left to go. Here to go. Williams from 8 yards out.
The Aces of Owensboro Catholic.
And they will now take the lead. And it's going to be 19-17, and they'll look for the extra point to make it a 3-point game. And it'll be Harrington. He's 1 of 2 on extra points tonight. The one he missed was kind of a bad snap. The snap was perfect, good, but he duck hooks this one left. So he's now missed that one badly, and it will be 19-17. Calicut leading with 9:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back with more 3rd quarter action in just a few moments. And welcome back to the Homers Radio Network. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward. We got the Don Moore game of the week. You can check that out at moredeals.com. And at the 9:46 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's Owensboro Calicut 19-17. And what an opening drive statement by Catholic to start the 3rd quarter, Brandon.
That's what they needed. They came out and answered the bell, if you want to make it a heavyweight boxing reference, as it looked like Apollo was about to take this game the way they wanted to do, take over it, grind it out, let Mariano McKenzie have 25-30 carries. Catholic says, not so fast, my friends, and answers with a quick touchdown to start the second half.
And it will be Husk will take it at about the 5-yard line. He's got a gaping hole up the middle, 30, 35, 40. 40-yard line ripped down and tackled there. Number 23 and Sam Harrington on that tackle. Also number 23, Trey Roberts. But Apollo will take over 1st and 10 at the 40. And we talk about not being such a weapon. That's why Catholic starts every drive at the 20 after Apollo kickoff. And Husk returns at 35 yards, get them great field position to start their opening drive here in the 3rd quarter.
It's one way to counter the quick start from the Aces here in the second half is to get a nice return from your kick game and get yourself in position to get some points. They're only about 30 yards away from being in not range.
In the first half, Clark was 9 of 14 for 129 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. McKenzie, they were 22 for 105. 85 of those were from Mariano McKenzie, and he'll get the first handoff over the left side. Going to try to bounce it outside. A great job. It's Mills and Hagen Edge. The helmet comes off on Hagen Edge, so he will have to leave the game for a play. But no gain for McKenzie as he tried to bounce that one out to the left side, but Mills and Edge were there to fill it up. Actually, with having marked, he's going to lose a couple. So it's going to be 2nd and 12 for Apollo, and a great job there by Calicut. That's what they did early in the first quarter, where they bottled up McKenzie. He got going late in the first quarter and into the second quarter. But let's see what kind of halftime adjustments Coach Morris and his staff made to try to contain Mariano McKenzie. Like I said, he had 85 yards on 16 carries in the first half. 2nd and 12, 38-yard line for Apollo. Clark, it's going to be a pitch out to McKenzie, trying to get wide. He's bottled up, cuts it back, breaks a couple tackles, and he gets to the 45-yard line. So he picks up 7. He's going to make it 3rd and 5. They had strung that out, but a great cutback by McKenzie there.
That's the way to build up the yards for McKenzie. Like I said, you just keep going to him over and over, and he's going to find daylight. And the more he runs the ball, the more Catholic has to tackle him. The way he runs, the harder it's going to be for the rest of the ball game.
So 3rd and 5 here at their own 45. Now McKenzie stretching out. It looks like there's Clark's getting the play from the sidelines. I don't know if he's tightened up a little bit.
Not signaling to the sideline that he wants to come out.
No, this is 1 versus 5. He's playing in this one.
Absolutely.
It's a city
He's ready to go to the house again.
We're playing here. So 3rd and 5 from their own 45. Clark, it'll be McKenzie up the middle. He runs right into Borman, falls forward for 2 yards, but Borman filled the hole. No, it was not. It was 36. It was Hamilton.
It looked like a Borman as quick as he read that defense. Looked like John Mark back there.
Yeah, it was Hamilton who filled the hole perfectly and stopped him 3 yards short. So it's going to be 4th and 3, and now Knott will come in to punt. So Catholic gets the opening score and then gets Apollo a 3 and out here. And so Apollo will have to punt to give it back. We got a man in motion and the snap. Oh, it looked like it was going to be a fake, but it hit the up man. Now Notch has got to get rid of it and hits a booming punt, taking it about the 20, cutting up the middle. It's Yaya Gray. He's got the seam. He's at the 35, 40, out to about the 46-yard line. Really good return. Nice 26-yard return by Yaya Gray, and Catholic will take over 1st and 10 at their own 46. That could have been dangerous. I don't know if that's going to be a fake punt or just a back. It hit the up man.
It was a direct snap to Sam Parham, and he couldn't handle the snap. That was a great, quick decision made right there by the punter, Knott, who unloaded a beauty, and that went from disaster to a nice kick. And then Yaya Gray says, not so fast, as he returns it to midfield for the Aces.
It looks like it was a fake call because Coach Hawkins there talking to Parham going, hey, what happened? It's now 1st and 10. Apollo driving, rolling out. Hart's looking, hits his in and out of the hands of Mills. He had the out route for about 8 yards. He just dropped it. And they've really attacked Apollo with one man going deep and the inside guy running out route. And it's been effective, but that time Mills dropped it to make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think Coach Hawkins was questioning Parham what happened because it hit him in the hands and he dropped it. Yeah. I think he had dialed up a pretty good trick play there, and he's a little frustrated.
So now 2nd and 10, the ball at their own 47 for Catholic. It's 19-17 Catholic with a 2-point lead. 7:05 here to go in the 3rd quarter. This time it's going to be Williams over the left side trying to bounce it outside. He does get out. Ooh, big hit. It's no gain as he got outside, got tripped up, but a big hit coming up. Was that Hayden that came up and made the big hit? It was Gage Hayden came up and laid a big lick. So no gain there for Williams. It's going to be 3rd and 10. And let's see if Apollo can get Catholic High off the field here on 3rd down on 3rd and 10.
Big play right here. You keep Catholic off the scoreboard, you're still within West Knott field goal of taking the lead.
Harsh drops back, blitz up the middle. He's under pressure, steps up, fires, looking for deep, and that's going to be, he overthrew. Looked like he was trying to hit number 81 on the play, and that is Bo Ingram. So Apollo gets a big 3 and out there. And Calici will now have to punt. It'll be Harrington going back to punt, and it'll be Parham and Hayden who will draw deep. They're spotted at about their own 25-yard line. Any update on the Davis County Owensboro game?
I'll check it out once this punt happens so I don't miss it.
It's a low snap, but Harrington's going to get it off. It's a line drive kick. Hayden takes it at about the 16, trying to find Bo out to his right, and he's going to get it out to about the 30. Now Apollo will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30. And we'll get that update right as we take a break here with 6:17 left to go. Catholic lead 19-17. It's a Don Moore game of the week.
We'll just keep it here and go with the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard at or nearing halftime at the last check of these games. Callaway 15, Hancock 6, McLean County 13, Logan 14, Owensboro 21, Davis County 7, which you can watch on our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, search Homers Radio. It's live streaming right there for you. That score update brought to you by Greater Owensboro Realty and Daryl Vanover.
So 1st and 10, Apollo at their own 30. Clark drops back. He's going to try to hit a man on the out route. He was trying to hit Usk, and that was incomplete. And once again, Apollo's had their success throwing the football over the middle of the field, have not really had a lot of success throwing out towards the numbers, and he was wide on that one. So now it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 at their own 30 with 6:12 left to go. Catholic High, the 5th-ranked team in the Shelby Wheel Tire rankings, leading the number 1 ranked Apollo 19-17 here on Homer's Radio Network. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward filling in for the at work Steve Turner. Mr. Turner, if you're listening, thank you for letting me call such a good game.
He's in there listening for sure. Got his Eagles playing, trying to keep up. Probably listening to us and watching McLean County sports.
So 2nd and 10, Clark going to drop straight back. No pressure. He's going to fire. It's knocked away, not batted down. That's a nice shot. They got a big paw up there, and it's going to be 3rd and 10.
Something I've noticed with Kobe Clark, look how he's holding his left arm when he's running over to the sideline here. It's at his side.
Yeah, he's kind of dangling it, isn't he?
And that's one thing that the Catholic defensive line is putting some pressure on him. I don't know if he's went to the ground because I know coming into the game he was a little banged up, but it looks like it's worse now.
When he's had he hasn't really been hitting the pocket, but he's had to pull it down and run a couple times. But you can see even going back on the field there, that left arm is just dangling. Yeah, so now 3rd and 10. Let's see if they can find some way to pick up the first down. Catholic High trying to get a 3-and-out and get their ball back to the offense with a 2-point lead here with 6:08 left to go. 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Clark dropping back. Catholic brings pressure. Now he's going to step up. Now he's going to roll out. Now he's going to fire across the field. It's caught. He fires across the field out to about, they got him marked at about the 47 as he hit that one to Dalen Crabtree for a first down, a 12-yard pickup. Crabtree with his first catch of the night and a huge first down there as Clark bought time and fired across the field and found Crabtree. It's going to be 1st and 10, the ball marked at their own 43. But I think you're right. You can see it even now more. Every time I look, that arm, it looks like he's hurting.
Absolutely. You talk about Crabtree. We talked about Rates Lewis earlier. Crabtree rocking the number 5 jersey, looking like Rates Lewis on that catch. Had his first varsity touchdown last week.
It's going to be Parham straight at the middle, and he ran into 2 big ones. He ran into Puckett, and I think it was the big defensive offensive lineman. I think it was Jaden Hall and Puckett that wrapped him up. Maybe Todd, but I think it was number 55. Let's see who we got there. 55, Noah Edelin and Puckett were right there to make the tackle as Parham got no gain on the play. So it's going to be 2nd and 10, still at the 43-yard line. Clock running with 5:05 left to go. So Apollo now coming out there, moving right to left on your Mixler dial. 2 to Clark's left, 1 to his right. Parham and McKenzie in the backfield. They're going to fake it. Now they swing it out to McKenzie. He runs right into the offensive lineman. It was Edelin again as he swung it out to him, and he loses about 6 yards on the play. Nice job by Noah Edelin.
The defensive line for the Aces are playing phenomenally in this game. I know we talked a lot about the offensive line from Apollo. It looks like the Aces have taken it as a challenge, and they're holding up man-to-man right now against this Bonnet Apollo offensive line.
It's going to be 3rd and 16. They move it all the way back to the 37 as Noah Edelin was there to wrap up McKenzie on the little swing pass. And let's see if Apollo now can find a way here. This may be just try to get a few and punt it deep and then let your defense play. Don't need a turnover here. Now, dropping back, Clark on the nets. There's a sack. And Noah Todd is in on that one. And who else is there? We got a flag. It came down late. We may have a celebration penalty. It was Jack Hamilton and Noah Todd with the sack. But I think Hamilton may have celebrated a little bit. I think this is on Hamilton.
Got to wonder how that arm's feeling now. There's another shot to it from Kobe Clark taking it there.
He loses 7 on the play. On the sack, it was Jack Hamilton and Noah Todd. It's a dead ball. It's personal foul on Apollo. All right, so that's going to cost them 15 more.
Ace is going to get good field position once again, and Mr. Yeye Gray back there waiting for that punt.
Now it's going to be 4th and forever. The ball spotted at the 16. They got to get it all the way out to the 43. And so Yaya Gray will set up at about his 50, and now Knott will punt. And what adjustment so far by Calica's. Once again, just like the first quarter, they dominated here early in the third quarter.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's number 15, Braden Mundy, that'll be back there for the Aces.
They almost blocked that one, and it's going to bounce and take a huge Apollo bounce, and what a nice kick all the way down to the 34. What a great punt by Knott. It'll be 1st and 10 for Calica's. We'll be right back in just a few moments. And welcome back in the I formation. He's going to pick out the hog. He's going to go around left side, and he's going to pick up about 3. And that's the first time we've seen Calica in the I formation, as they'll now have 2nd and 7 with 3:25 and counting here in the third quarter. Catholic up 19-17 over Apollo. It's been the tale of the halves. Early in the first quarter or the first half, Calica dominated. From about the 8-minute mark or about 4-minute mark on the rim, it was all Apollo. And then coming out of the third quarter, it's been all Catholic High. As once again, they're back in the I again. 2nd and 7. They're going to hand this one straight up the middle. No, he pulled it out. He flipped it out here. And it's Williams trying to get across the 50, 48 to the 45-yard line of Apollo. First downs. What a nice job by Hart as he stuck it in Todd's belly and pulled it out and then flipped it out to Williams. And he picks up 17 and another first down.
Take it over to Rash Stadium, courtesy of the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. First drive of the second half. Owensboro to the end zone, 28-7. Owensboro leads over Davis County.
That's kind of a shocker. Owensboro dominating Davis County over there. So Calica now 1st and 10 at the Apollo 45. And Apollo needs to find a way to get Calica off the field. Down 19-17. You don't want to go too far down to the Aces. They've made great adjustments here and dominated this early part of this third quarter. Blitz up the middle. Williams, he's going to break the blitz across the 40. All the way down to the 35. He's going to pick up about 11 as they had the run blitz on. He went by it, and Von Williams busted through for 11 and another first down. He's now to 9 carries for 103 yards as he has dominated here in the third quarter, Brandon.
In the second half, it's looked like the way we said Catholic wants to win football games, giving it to Vaughn and him picking up some chunks of yards. The offensive line doing their job right now for the Aces.
Now Harsh rolling out to the left. He's going to fire another out, and he threw it over high and behind Hagen Edge. That's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Calica had -1 yards rushing in the first half. And here in the second half, Von Williams, he had 10 yards in the first half. He's up to 103 now. So 93 yards here in the third quarter, and we still got 2 minutes to go.
Workhorse is Von Williams, just like we've been talking about Mariano McKenzie. The more he runs, the harder he's going to be tackled later in the game because he'll run you over as well.
2nd and 10 at the 34. It's a ball's on the ground and fumble. Pick back up. Hogg fumbled it. He's going to lose 6 yards. He was able to pick it back up but loses 6 yards on the play.
Logan Weedman was right there off the snap and almost created a turnover for the Eagles. Another Apollo Eagle with a UK offer already. I believe he's a sophomore.
Yeah, so now it's going to be 3rd and 16. 146 and counting to go in the third quarter. 19-17 Catholic. Apollo needs to get a big stop here. So 3rd and 16, the ball spotted at the 40. Hart's 4 wide, 2 to each side. Williams in the backfield with him. Hart's going to drop back. Eagles bring pressure. Hart's going to step up, and he is going to get a couple yards. He picks up 2 as they got pressure on him. As Quentin Miller, as he stepped up, was able to make out the tackle.
We called him the Punisher last year on our Halloween special when we went superheroes and made all the 3rd region standout superhero players. He earned the name right there as he put a punishing hit on the ball carrier.
So it's going to be 4th and 14. The ball spotted at the 37. I'm surprised with the way Calica's defense played. You don't kick it here to move Apollo deep, but Coach Morris is going to roll the dice and go for it here on 4th and 14 at the ball at the 37-yard line.
Shows trust in his offense. You got to like that if you're a player from the Aces.
So Hart's now, he's got 4 wide, and we've got a flag on the play. What do we got here?
Hanky on the field, Eagle fans. I believe it's
going to be a delay of game. So now the punt team will come out. With the way your defense is playing, this is probably the right move to punt the ball. Your defense has dominated here in the third quarter. 39.4 seconds left. You're up 19-17, and Apollo's yet to get a first down here in the first half. In the second half,
you have the opportunity to pin them back here inside the 5-yard line as well, which is going to be a long drive for Apollo and Mariano McKenzie to grind out 95 yards.
Hayden is spotted at the zone 10. Good snap. Harrington with the punt. It's high punt. Hayden, no fair catch. It's off his face mask and on the ground. It's loose. And it's at the 15. We've got a big scrum for it, but I think Hayden got it back. That ball bounced right off his face mask. That could have been
his light flash behind in front of his eyes right there, and he hit another gear to recover that one. That thing was about 5 yards ahead of him.
It was.
And it was only about 2 yards ahead of the Catholic player, and somehow Hayden hit the X button speed burst and was able to recover that one.
As that ball hit his face mask on the 10, he recovered it at the 15, but that could have been a huge turn of events. So now Apollo takes over 1st and 10 at their own 15 with 28.3 seconds left. Calico up 19-17. As Apollo now will try to have their first down here in the third quarter, looking to make their adjustments now. And so McKenzie in the backfield. Clark, he's looking. He's going to fire slant. It's knocked down by Noah Todd on that quick slant. And Noah Todd said, not here, not now. So 2nd and 10 at the 15. As Clark now comes over, gets a play call from his head coach. And he will run back out. And McKenzie, he had 85 yards at half. Here in the second half, he's got 3 carries for 7 yards. You would think they had to find a way to start feeding him here.
Only trailing by 2, so all they need to get in is within field goal range, which we know not. Got about a 40, 45-yard range that he could hit to be able to take the lead in this one.
It's time to go McKenzie at the left side, kind of squeak through the hole, but Noah Todd trips him up. He picked up 1 as Todd came from his left defensive end all the way around to trip up McKenzie. And with 13.5 seconds left, now we're down to 10 seconds left, and we will probably be, looks like Coach Hawkins is going to wait here and let the third quarter run out. So at the end of the third quarter, it's Calico leading 19-17, and the Don Moore Game of the Week here on Homer's Radio Network. We'll be right back for an exciting fourth quarter in just a few moments.
Snap, kicks up, it's good! It's good works in football, but when you're shopping price, you want the best. And that's More Value Price. No stumbling, no fumbling. Take it to the house with moredeals.com.
And welcome back to Homer's Radio Network and the Don Moore Game of the Week. I'm Vic Evans along with Brandon Ward. We were just getting ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Owensboro Catholic High lead 19-17. Apollo got the ball 3rd and long, deep in their own territory. And Ward, this is one where you would think Apollo needs to find a way to get the first down. And even if you don't score on this drive, just flip the field and let your defense play.
Yeah, you don't want to give the Aces a short field, as they've shown on numerous occasions in this game. They can hit the big strike quick, and they could be in the end zone, and you'd have a 2-score game going on very quickly if you're the Eagles. So you got to pick up a first down here. And like we said, it's almost to the point now that the Eagles defense has been on the field so much, you got to get this first down to give them a rest.
Yep. You're right about that. So it's 3rd and long here.
Go to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard as the Panthers answer with a Landon Newman touchdown run to make it 24-14 in the third quarter, and then immediately answered by the Red Devils. Will Warren to Hayden for an 18-yard touchdown. Devils lead 35-18 over Davis County.
And I said that going in tonight, I wouldn't be shocked by any score, but that score does just surprise me a little bit. I thought it would be a lot closer.
The Owensboro coaching staff has to be commended for the adjustments they've made in their pass defense since the Catholic game. They looked an elite level last week against Bowling Green, and that's what they're looking right now against Davis County, to hold that very dangerous Davis County offense to only 14 points right now.
They're holding it for the media timeout for TV. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Apollo at the 16-yard line, their own 16. And we'll see here as we're still waiting, and here's a flag come out, so the media timeout's over. So 3rd and 8 from their own 16. Apollo Eagles needing a big first down to try to keep this drive going here. And just to start the fourth quarter, they trailed 19-17 to the Aces. Clark dropping back, looking, he's under pressure, steps up, and he's got the sack as he couldn't get away. And it looked like, let's see if I can you pick up that number there, who got the sack? It looks like Hamilton, Jack Hamilton, just got his his ankle, and he was trying to sneak out of there, and he falls down for a loss of 4.
That shoulder really hanging too, that left arm, as you can see on the camera as I'm zooming in on it right now. It's just dangling there. He doesn't need to take many more hits like that.
So now Yaya Gray will stand at about his 50 as Knott will go back to punt on 4th and 12 from their own 12. Calacatta is going to get great field position and have a chance to make this a 2-score game. Here comes the pressure, and it's a nice high kick. Gray's going to fair catch it at about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for Calacatta at their own, or at the Apollo 48. And if you're an Apollo fan and Coach Hawkins, your defense needs to get a stop here. You do not want to go down 2 scores late in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it's going to take away your game plan. You want to run Mariano McKenzie and grind those yards out to take the lead late in the 4th if you're able to do so. And even better case scenario for Apollo is to only be trailing by 2 points to where you've got a great field goal kicker, and we've seen him win games before with field goals, so you know they trust him as well. Got to keep this under a field goal game if you're Apollo.
It's going to be Williams running hard over the right side. He's going to break 5, 10, and 15, and hold. Gonna take this one to the house, 48 yards out, touchdown Aces, and what a hard run by Vaughn Williams. And I was just going to say, it's kind of weird because since the start of the second half, it's been feed Vaughn Williams and Apollo throwing. It's like they flipped, and Vaughn Williams takes it 48 yards to make this one a 25-17 game, and this extra point is huge because it can make it a 2-score game. It's still just an 8-point game right now. He's 1 for 3 tonight on extra points. Harrington. So
big kick here.
It is a huge kick.
We've seen the extra point game come back to cost McLean County the game versus Apollo. Let's see what they can do here for the Aces. That's
this
good.
This kick is up, and it is going to be good. So at 11:02 left to go in the game, it is now Catholic 26, Apollo 17, as Vaughn Williams rips off a 48-yard touchdown run. He ran through a couple of arm tackles and then just turned on the jets, and he was to the house in no time. Vaughn Williams now 10 carries for 151 yards.
Yeah, that was the thing that people early in the season and last season was saying, what's wrong with Vaughn? And our reply every time is nothing's wrong with Vaughn. It's his offensive line. And you've seen right there when he's got blocking, he's hard to bring down and he's hard to catch.
Williams had 3 carries for 10 yards in the first half. So he's got 7 carries for 141 yards this second half. He's averaging 20 yards a pop.
Pretty impressive right there, and that's what you get from a workhorse like Vaughn. Like I said, it gets harder for the defensive players to tackle a guy like that. He's a full-grown man. There's reason he's getting looks from Louisville to play his college ball at Louisville, because he's a full-grown man, and it just wears on you to tackle somebody that size over and over and over, especially here in the second half when Apollo just can't get off the field defensively.
So now we'll see what the number 1 team in the Shelbyville Entire, what they're made of, is they've been punched in the mouth here. Now it's a short kick. Pooch kick, ball's loose, picked up, and Apollo will fall on it at about the 38-yard line. It's almost kind of like a side kick, Pooch kick, but Apollo was able to fall on it. So at 10:59, they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 38. And this is, if you're an Apollo fan, you got punched in the mouth, you got to answer right here, Brandon.
Yeah, you got to find your playmakers here, and I'm sure you don't even have to tell these guys from Apollo. Most of them are seniors or juniors that have a lot of varsity time. They know it's time to put their game hats on.
Well, Apollo had dominated with 234 total yards in the first half to Calacatta's 93, and the script has completely flipped here as Calacatta's defense has just dominated Apollo here. Now Clark looking to drop back, fires over the middle. He hits Gage Hayden, picks him up for about a 3-yard gain, but he's tackled right there. It's Harrington and Hamilton on the tackle, about a 5-yard pickup, and that's where they've done their most damage, is between the hash marks from the throwing game. They've really struggled when they try to throw it outside the hash marks.
Yeah, I don't know how long I would allow Clark to hang back there in the pocket either, the way he looks like he's got a shoulder injury going. I don't know how long they're going to, or how comfortable they're going to be having him stay back there for any 20-yard deep routes.
Well, it's his non-throwing shoulder. That's the one good thing. But now, so it's going to be 2nd and 5. Hayden drops back again, pressure's under, and he is going to go down. No, the ball's loose. I think Calacatta's on it. Looked like he was going to go down. He pulled out of it, but then they stripped him of the football, and Calicut has a turnover, and they have it 1st and 10 at the Apollo 35. What a great job by the Calicut defense. Clark didn't go down on the first thing, and he tried to step out of the sack, and then he got stripped of the football for the strip sack.
That's what I was talking about him back there in the pocket. Even though it's not his throwing arm, he still needs 2 arms to be able to protect that football, and that's exactly what happened to him.
So Calicut gets another turnover. It's the 3rd one. An interception, now a fumble recovery, and then a turnover on downs. And they've got it 1st and 10 at the Apollo 37, up 26-17. And let's see if they go to the jugular here. See if they try to go deep or if they just feed Williams. It looks like it's Hogg in the backfield for Williams. Under center now in the I formation. Hart's looking. He's going to fire. He fires high as he was looking for Mills. As he had pressure on him there too, as he was just high and hot. Hartz has now missed his last 4 passes. Come in average about 290 yards passing, just 103 tonight.
The pressure from the Apollo defensive line is what made that pass settle on him. He had to throw it up to be able to avoid it being blocked from him, as they were all over him right there. There was 3 Eagles waiting to take him to the ground.
Apollo has to get a stop here or do no worse than give up not even a field goal. You really need to get a 3 and out. You know, you're down 9 here. You give up a field goal, it makes it 2 touchdowns. So they're going to pitch it out to Williams. He's trying to get the right side, cuts it up. He's wrapped up there, big number 72 for Apollo. What jumped on top of him there to knock him down.
Quentin Miller.
And it's Quentin Miller, and he's going to pick up about 2, and it's going to be 3rd and 8.
Big 3rd down coming right now for the Eagles. They need to get off this field with a 9-point deficit because, like you said, any more added to it, and it's going to be more than a touchdown and field goal advantage.
Yep. So 3rd, and let's call it 3rd and 8. 4 wide, shotgun, blitz coming up. Hey, Juan Williams has it spinning. He's going to pick up about 4, so it's going to be 4th and 3. And this may be the play of the game up to this point with 9:23 here to go. Catholic 26-17, and it's going to be 4th, and we'll call it 4. Apollo needs to get a stop right here. 4th and 4. I would expect maybe a little out pass to Hagen Edge here or Mills. That's what's been really effective in their throwing game is those little out passes. Apollo looking like they're going to blitz. They give it to Williams right up the middle. He's going to have the first down as he picks up 6. First down, and a huge first down as Von Williams now up to 163 yards and dominating the entire second half for the Owensboro Catholic.
The Aces offensive line and Von Williams right now using the Apollo game plan against Apollo, as it's been the Von Williams show in the second half, as they're making this game short thanks to Von Williams keeping the clock running and picking up first downs.
Got 153 yards in the second half alone. Now they go to Hogg. No, Hartz is going to keep it. He's got a huge breaks a tackle. He's at the 15, still going. 10, 5, trying to get in the end zone. Catholic from 25 yards out. Hartz with the run. What a 25-yard touchdown run. And now you can almost kind of keep this one. He put it in Hogg, pulled it out, made a couple guys miss, and all of a sudden Calicut has completely changed here and dominated the second half. They were down 17-13 as they're looking now for their 19th point here the second half, or their 20th, or their 19th. And Harrington going to line it up, and the extra point is up. And it's going to be good. So with 8:30 to go, it's now 33-17 as Owensboro Calicut now up 19-0 here in the second half. And with just 8:30 to go, Apollo's in a world of hurt, Ward.
You always said Catholic answered the bell coming out for the second half. Apollo's going to have to answer the bell. But Catholic might end up running away with this one. Right now they got the momentum. You can see on the YouTube game playback, if you're listening or watching on Homer's Radio on YouTube, that the student section over there for the Aces are rocking right now.
Actually, they're up 20-0 here in the second half. as Apollo has done nothing offensively in the second half, and Vaughn Williams and the Aces, who'd have thunk it, the Aces running game has completely dominated the second half, while Apollo's running game has done nothing.
They've really went away from the running game on the Apollo side, which is weird. Like you said, it was almost like a flip of the script from the first half game plan from both teams.
Yeah, 16 carries for McKenzie in the first half for 85 yards. Here in the second half, 4 carries for 8 yards.
Got behind the 8 ball, and then, like Stephen A. Turner was saying, they fell behind in the score and went away from what they wanted to do, and that's exactly what has played out here in the second half.
So now a 16-point lead. 33-17, and the Calico will kick off. It'll be Harrington kicking off from his 40, and Apollo, it's still just a 2-score game, 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, but Apollo's got to have something big happen.
I'm not kicking it to Husk if I'm the Aces. He's almost housed a couple here in this, and I wouldn't give him the opportunity.
They did the little pooch punt onside kick. Let's see if they try it again. It'll be Husk and Parham back deep. They're sitting on about their 12-yard line. And it is another short pooch punt. It's going to be taken by the upman about the 36. He'll get maybe to about the 39. Let's call it the 40. It will be 1st and 10 for Apollo.
Sam Parham of the Eagles. Apollo will take over.
Apollo's got to have something with just 8:25 left to go. 33-17. As Catholic's making a statement for that #1 ranked team in the Shelby Wilson Tire come Monday.
Absolutely. You got Davis County, the #2 team, trailing to Owensboro, who Catholic has a win over. So if they win this one.
One last count, I think McLean County was #3. They were down 2.
They were down.
So you may have 1, 2, and 3 all dropping. And Grayson County, I haven't seen that score. Were they 4?
Q McHenry's not playing, so I'm guessing that's probably affecting Grayson huge. But yeah, they're 4, undefeated, sitting at 4-0.
You may have the top 4 go down. So they give it to McKenzie straight at the middle, and he comes out the backside for about a 2-yard gain. He's wrapped up by Hamilton. And so now the clock will be the biggest factor here, along with the Aces defense. So he picks up 7. It'll be picks up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. And Apollo really, they don't need 3-yard chunks. They need a big chunk play at some point here with just 7:58 to go. Clark drops back, looking to throw, looking. Now he's flushed out. Now he's going to throw to Hayden, and it's going to be, I think he's out of bounds. I think his left foot was out of bounds, and so it's incomplete as he was trying to hit Gage Hayden. Harrington was on the cover, and Clark incomplete on that one.
Nicely done there by the Aces defense to force them out of the field of play, unable to make that completion.
So it's now going to be 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for Apollo here. Like I said, they had 234 yards of offense in the first half. I bet they're under 300 for the game. I would guarantee you Catholic hasn't given up 60 yards here in the second half.
Yeah, Catholic, whatever adjustments they made at halftime or whatever paint was peeled off the walls by Coach Morris was done phenomenally because Aces looked like a different team in the second half.
3rd and 7, hard, and it's going to be over the middle, almost picked off by Borman. And Yaya Gray was there, and Noah Ty got pressure and knocked Clark down as he let that one go. And now it's going to be 4th and 7, and this is what you don't want. It's a passing situation. Noah Todd's going to pin his ears back and go at him.
Absolutely. You got Kessler and Gray back there who are interception machines. We've noticed that Kobe Clark's a little banged up. If he throws one up there and doesn't have enough steam on it, they'll pick that off and take it to the house very quickly.
And Apollo takes a timeout here, and with 7:42 to go, 4th and 7. This is the play of the game. If Apollo's going to make a comeback, they got to keep the football. There's just not enough time to give it back to Calico. Down by 16 with just 7:42 to go. It's 33-17. Calico leading Apollo here.
Yeah, you're going to have to cut this lead in half very quickly if you're Apollo. You're going to need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
And it's been total second half domination by Catholic as they've outscored Apollo 20-0 coming out of the halftime.
Talk about a reverse of the first game of the season when it was Davis County with 20 points at the end of the first quarter, or it was Catholic with 20 points, Davis County with nothing after the end of the first quarter. Then it was 49-6 the rest of the way, Davis County.
Yeah, so the Calico has definitely made some great second half adjustments here, and this is a must-get if the Eagles have any chance of keeping their 4-game winning streak alive. And it's going to be 4th, and we'll call it 7. They got to get to the 50. And they're going to come out. It's going to be 4 wide, 1 to his left, 3 to his right. McKenzie will be in the backfield with Clark. Calicut has 3 down linemen. Looks like they're going to rush 3 and play defense with 8. Now let's see if they can get some pressure. Now they bring a 4th on the blitz. Clark's going to throw it up. He's looking for Johnson, and it's incomplete. And he'll turn that one on down as he just threw that one up, looking for Johnson. And Owensboro Catholic will take over on downs. And now all of a sudden, Apollo for the first time this year looks a little bit defeated over here on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to maintain any kind of confidence the way that Catholic's moving, because even if they were able to get a score here, right now Catholic's just moving on offense to where you're not going to be able to stop them.
Apollo needs to force a turnover. You got to get a 3 and out here with just 7:37. If you got any shot, you've got to get a 3 and out here. But it's been Vaughn Williams, the big show here in the second half. 163 yards for the game, 153 yards and 2 touchdowns here in the second half alone. And it's going to be Williams up the middle. He makes a man miss. He's across the 35. A block on the outside, 25-20. Down and out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. He's ripped off 33 more yards, now up to 196 yards. Vaughn Williams has just completely dominated, but it looks like we got a flag on the play here.
But there is a flag on.
That could be huge if it's against Catholic, as that would set Catholic back. And
so face mask on Apollo. That's going to be a 15-yarder. So it's going to wipe out the 33-yard run. They were going to have 1st and 10 at the 12. And Coach Morris is getting on. It looks like it had to be, my guess is, it had to be Jaden Hall, because he is giving him all, Coach Morris is giving Hall all he wants. So instead of having it 1st and 10 at the 12, this will mark it all the way back to Calicut's own 42. So about a 50-yard penalty.
We got a lot of Apollo fans heading towards the exit already, which I do not recommend that. Apollo has the ability to come back here. I wouldn't give up on them just yet.
So they fake. Hart's looking. Now he's going to fire, and it's going to be intercepted. Oh! They're across the 40, out to about the 50. A huge interception.
As I said,
what a change of momentum. It was Gage Hayden.
As I said, Apollo fans exiting right now. Turn back around because the Eagles are back in it.
How big is that penalty? You've got 1st and 10 at the Apollo 12. You get the face mask penalty. Then you throw an interception. Now Apollo has it 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
That's what we always talk about. Owensboro plays Bowling Green. When you're playing a team that's an elite level good team, you can't make mistakes against them because it'll cost you.
So now 1st and 10 Apollo at the 50-yard line. 7:19 to go. 33-17 Catholic leading the Apollo Eagles. But now let's see if Apollo can make something happen after huge turnovers. Hart's through the interceptions to Hayden. Gage Hayden with a huge pick. McKenzie up the middle, breaks 3, runs right over top of man, but he's drugged down there by Borman. He picks up 4.
Shoulder and delivering the boom for a positive yardage.
Apollo going to need bigger chunks of yards than that with the current score, trailing by 16.
And plus, they're only got 2 timeouts, and they're huddling right now. This almost be where you maybe need to go no huddle. 2nd and 6, 6:55 to go, down 16. And the play, a lot of time in between play calls for Apollo.
Yeah, Clark went all the way to the sideline there to get that play. That's precious time.
He does it every time. And you're down to 9 seconds on the play clock. So they're going to go up the middle. Hey, McKenzie's going to break tackles. Still going. Wrapped up by Borman after he broke 3 tackles and got 6 yards and a 1st down.
Picks up the 1st down, but like we were saying, that took a long time to call a run up the middle.
Yep.
That should have been called about 15 seconds quicker than it was.
That play was dead at 6:40. Now the clock will stop here. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 39.
Football games are for loud and rowdiness.
So 1st and 10 at the Calicute 39, 6:21 to go, clock running. Apollo does have 2 timeouts left. Clark going to drop back, looking, firing over the middle for Johnson, and he dropped it.
Gotta have that one if you're the Eagles. He had the position on his defender to make that catch and was unable to do so. Look at the arm from Clark just dangling at this point.
Well, Jeffrey Johnson drops that one. He was one that was out earlier with some cramping problems. He was over the middle. I don't know if he heard footsteps or not. But that will stop the clock with 6:12 to go. 33-17. It's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Aces. Apollo moving left to right on your Mixler dial.
I like that play call because if nothing else, it at least stop the clock and they can set up without having to be behind the 8-ball rushing.
It's going to be McKenzie. He's going to try to bounce out to the left side. He's got the corner. He's going to have 8, 9, 10, 11. He's going to have enough for a first down as they're going to mark him out right at the bounds. He's got about 10. And he gets out of bounds to start the clock.
That's bigger than the first down right there, stopping the clock.
Yep.
Right now, I'm in the Eagles huddle. I'm saying anytime we got the opportunity, we got to get out of bounds.
Yep, you got to. So he's got about 10 yards on the pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. As he got out of bounds with 6:06 to go here with 33-17, Calicut leading. Apollo trying to get down there and score. They need 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. Clark drops back. Got plenty of time. He'll step into it, looking deep, looking for Johnson. Comes back and gets it at about the 9. First down, a 20-yard pass play. Huge play for Johnson.
We said he could be the home run hitter for this Eagles team, and that's one of the biggest plays we've seen all night is he was able to get some separation between him and the defender. Nicely done right there by 11.
The ball was a little underthrown, and Johnson was able to come back and get it, and the receiver did not know where the football was, so it's now 1st and goal at the 9 with 5:50 to go, clock running, trying to get back in this game here, down 16. Clark now in his pistol, 3 to his left. He's going to go McKenzie up the middle, and he is stuffed, and now he runs through it, still goes. He was tackled for a 2-yard loss, and he got all the way to the 2-yard line. What a great 8-yard run. As he breaks 3 tackles, he should have been tackled for about a 3 or 4-yard loss.
That was just 1-2 right there, and preseason work. That was putting work in the weight room back in February, back in October, before the season started.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal at about the 1. 33-17. McKenzie now with 124 yards on 25 carries. I say he needed 25. Let's see. Now they go run. They run a sneak, and I don't know if he got in. Waiting to see. And it is touchdown Clark from 1 yard out.
We got a ball game, Vic Evans.
Well, they got to get this 2-point conversions to still keep it to a 1-score game.
Big time right here. Whatever your best play is, you got to call it. They got the pyro going now.
So Apollo scores their first points here in the second half, and now they're down 10, and you've got to get the 2-point conversion here to make it a 1-score game. With 5:01 to go, Apollo still has 2 timeouts, so they still have time, but this 2-point conversion is huge.
Yeah, if they don't convert it, they're going to have to get the ball back twice to be able to tie it.
Yeah, so this 2-point conversion is huge. 4 wide, 2 to each side, man in motion in the pistol set. They're going to pitch it out here to McKenzie. He's going to try to turn the corner. Gets the corner. Good blocking. They got a flag on the plate. He's going to be short. He did not get in. They got flags all over. You got to hold him, but I think he's short.
Be declined, I would think.
It's a block in the back, but it's a no good on the run. So that leaves it at a 2-score game, 33-23 with 5:01 left to go. Calicut leading Apollo, and we'll take a break here and be right back as you're listening to Homer's Radio Network and the Don Moore Game of the Week. And welcome back to the Don Moore Game of the Week here on the Homer's Radio Network as it's 33-23 Catholic with 5:01 left to go. Here comes the onside kick, and it's a good one. Apollo, and it's first down.
Wow.
Whoa, a perfect kick, and it was Husk, number 3.
Oh, back to the
No, there's no way. He's past 10 yards.
Number 3, Brandon Husk of the Eagles.
The first official came in. He was about to have 25 Eagles fans maybe storm the field after that call because that was obviously to the Eagles, and now he did, like you said, he just got a little confused.
Yeah, he pointed the right way first and then pointed the wrong way. But I mean, it was where they got it marked at the 49 of Catholic. It was a win 11 yards and hopped right, picked it up. slid in. So 33-23 with 5 minutes left to go. Apollo gets it back on the onside kick. And Calicut just wasn't aggressive enough to get the ball. He just kind of sat and waited for it to come to him. And the Husk picked it up at 11 yards.
Everybody in the stadium knew that it was coming, and it looked like except the Aces special teams.
So 1st and 10 at the Catholic 49 with 5 minutes to go. They're going to give it to McKenzie right in the middle. He's at the 40, 35, all the way down to about the 33-yard line. He rips off 16 yards.
And the momentum has changed, and now the Apollo fans are up on their feet, getting loud for their Eagles. They're going to need 2 scores, though. They're down by 10, going to need a touchdown and a field goal.
Yeah, but that does stop the clock with 4:52 to go. Now it's 4:51 and running. Now Apollo does have 2 timeouts, so if you can score here, you don't necessarily have to get to the other onside kick. So now 1st and 10. They're at the 34-yard line. Man in motion. Clark goes right up the middle of McKenzie. He's going to pick up about 4. He gets to about the 30, maybe 5 as he falls forward.
I think right now about where the Eagles are, if they're able to pick up a few more yards, even if the Aces keep them out of the end zone, they should be able to at least take a field goal to cut 3 of those points off.
Yeah, because you need the field goal anyway. But not getting a 2-point conversion last time, you're down 10, so you'll need a touchdown and a field goal. 4:10 left to go, 33-23, 2nd and 5. Clark dropping back, pump fake, now he fires, hits his man. It's Hayden, and he ought to have enough for the first down on the 6-yard pass play.
If it does, it's going to stop the clock once again. 1st down, Eagles.
1st and 10 stops the clock right at 4 minutes to go. And this is where you got to be up there going when they get the chain set. You ought to be going with your offense and saving as much time as you can. 3:55 to go. Clock running now. Hayden going to drop back, looking to his right, looking. Now he's looking deep. He's got a man behind him. He hits Hayden. Touchdown! 24 yards out. Kobe Clark to cage Hayden. And all of a sudden, it's a new ball game.
I like the lack of emotion from the Eagles players here as they look like they're in game mode, if they're not even really reacting to that big touchdown.
24 yards out, 33-29 with 3:45 to go, and you got 2 timeouts, so you do not have to kick the extra point, the onside, but this is a huge extra point because it cuts it to a field goal game.
Absolutely. The quickness that they scored right there gives them a lot of options now.
And just like the first half, dominated first by Catholic, and then Apollo came back. The second half, dominated by Catholic, Apollo's coming back. Big extra point knocked. The kick is up, and it is good. So at the 3:45 mark, it's a 24-yard pass play from Clark to Hayden. The kick is good, and it is 33-30 with 3:45. We'll keep it right here, Ward, because it's gotten exciting.
Yeah, we don't want to miss any of this. We got pyro going off. We got the crowd going crazy for the Eagles, and we talked about it, Uncle Mo, as we call it. It's just something that you can't justify how important it is. I mean, look at the body language of the Aces players and the Aces fans now from 15 minutes ago when they look like a party.
In game time, they scored 13 points in the last minute, 16 seconds. To cut a 16-point lead down to a 3-point lead.
It's how number 1 team responds. They do not want to lose that number 1 ranking on the Shelby's entire top 10. They're doing everything they can.
So, Ward, do you onside here again, or do you kick it deep with 3:45 to go and 2 timeouts?
As successful and as good as that onside kick was, I might have to try it again, because either way, you just try to hold for a field goal, and even if they get the field goal, you win with a touchdown.
So 3:45 to go. Knott will kick off here. Aces got the hands team. They've got 9 guys between their own 40 and the 50-yard line. Let's see what they do here. Let's see if they kick it deep. They have 2. I don't think I can go for the onside here. But it looks like he's going to kick it deep here with 2 timeouts left to go. And it is. He's going to kick this one deep, and it's going to go in the end zone. So Calicut will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. And Apollo needs 1 step. Kai needs a first down.
Or Apollo needs to get pressure on the quarterback and cause another turnover. We've seen what got them back into the ball game was a huge interception by this Apollo defense.
I would think you would get a big, healthy dose of 3 runs of Von Williams here.
I'm not giving it to anybody but Von Williams or Harold Hogg on this possession if I'm the Aces.
Williams with 163 yards rushing, 153 of those here in the second half.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't have both of them in the backfield and make the Eagles have to guess which one I'm going to give it to.
So it's going to be 4 wide here. Williams in the backfield with Hartz. High snap. They give it to Williams. He's going to bounce it outside. He's going to turn the corner. 5, 10. He's got 15. So he stays in bounds. What a great job. Or did he get it out?
It looked like the Eagle defenders was trying to push him out. I don't know.
Their own 40-yard line.
3:37 left to go. First down, Eagles. And it looked like he did step out of bounds.
Clock is stopped.
Yep, so he did step out of bounds. He picked up 15, but, man, he wanted to stay in bounds there.
Yeah, that's huge to stay in bounds. That would force Apollo if
to
they
use a time.
to burn a timeout that they won't have whenever they get the ball on offense if they're able to get it.
We're going to go to Williams again. Strong. He's going to pick up about 7.
Williams on the carry, number 81.
Up to 185 yards. Now Apollo has to use a timeout. This is going to bring up 2nd and 7. If anybody else touches this ball but Von Williams for the rest of this game for Calicut, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'd be shocked, especially the way the offensive line is just rolling right now. They're getting off the ball first. They're pushing the Apollo defensive line back off the jump.
And Apollo did not use a timeout there, so we're going to get, there's 12 seconds left on the play clock, 3:04 and counting. They did not use a timeout there. So you probably ought to snap it with one. No, he snapped it early, and they're going to pitch it out to Williams, trying to get outside, cuts it back up. He's dragging people, and he's going to be short of the first down. He's only going to pick up about 2. He's going to be about a yard short. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Clock runs as he stayed in bounds that time.
And they did not use their timeout, so they still got 2 timeouts. 2:37. It is 3rd and 1. This is the play of the game. A first down here puts it really tough on Apollo, but they can get a hold here and force Calicut to punt. You're in business. 3rd and 1. His head. It's back to the 30. It's picked up by Vaughn. Now he's going to throws it to Hayden Hedge. He's going to catch it, and now you got to call a timeout here for Apollo. Hayden Hedge it's going to be about an 8-yard pass as Von Williams picks up the 20. He threw it to head. Apollo will take a timeout.
If you're not listening or at this game, you're missing out on a jewel of a game, as this has just been tremendous right here late in the 4th quarter. Both teams, you can tell how much both teams want to win. Neither team's making a lot of mistakes. It's just the other team playing so well.
And that was a huge mistake. You had 3rd and 1, and the shotgun snap goes over the head. Williams picked it up at the 20, made one guy miss, and then hit Hagen Edge on a pass, but he still loses about 10 to 11 yards on the play, and it's going to be 4th and a bundle at the 34-yard line. Now Harrington will have to punt with 2:08 left to go. There's no way you can go for it here. And Apollo's going to get the ball back and have 1 timeout left with just under 2 minutes by the time we're done here.
Apollo gets this ball back. Buckle up, folks, because this place is going to get loud. The Eagles fans are ready to see what's going to happen right here.
So Gage Hayden will go back deep. He'll be on about his own 35. How big is this snap?
Yeah, you block this one, we got a whole different ball game. We're talking about Catholic needing points.
It's a good snap. Harrington will get the punt up, and then Hayden, he punts it away from Hayden, and he's going to go out.
Nice punt.
They're going to go out of bounds.
Nice
still run all the way down to about the 22. A perfectly directional punt by Sam Harrington. So with 1:59 left to go, 1st and 10 Apollo at their own 21 and 1 timeout. What a game, Ward. What a game.
Game of the week has lived up to, for sure, 2 great teams playing right here in this one.
So 1st and 10, the ball marked at the 21, 1:59 to go. 3:30, Catholic over Apollo. Apollo does have 1 timeout, and the clock will stop every time you get a first down. Can Apollo put another touchdown on the board and score 3 times within 5 minutes to either win it or a not field goal to tie it? He said his range, we're guessing around 45 yards. So 3 wide, 4 wide. Clark dropping back, looking. He's going to fire. Johnson makes the guy miss. 35, 40, down to the 46-yard line. 1 yard to go. And that will stop the clock. Another first down, 1st and 10 at the 45. Clock stopped at 1:51. Apollo lining up 4 wide again. They get it snapped at 1:44. Hayden looking. Now he's under pressure. You can't be sacked here. The snag with a sack by Calicut. No. 2nd down. If you're Apollo here, you got to call a timeout.
That's number 63.
Number 63 for the Apollo
Alan
Eagles.
Seyfried fell on it, but Apollo now letting a lot of clock run out here.
They gotta go.
You got to call your timeout here.
I hear a whistle blowing.
The sack lost 3 yards, so they have it at the 42, 40. Now he's asking if it's an incomplete pass. Apollo saying the arm was moving forward. Calicut saying no, it's a fumble. 1:29 left to go. That would be huge if they call this an incomplete pass, because you'd add about 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, they'll get some time if it's a...
While we are being...
This is a huge call.
Once more, tip of the cap to you, Mr. Seyfried, on that fumble recovery.
They're over here talking about it.
It's a big call. They want to make sure they get this one right.
Well, it's not the yardage, it's the time you get back on the clock that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Let's see what the call is.
Well, they didn't move the ball. So, no, they're not. They're going to leave it right there, and the clock will run. 1:28 to go. 2nd and 12. Clark dropping back. Firing over the middle. Picked off by Harrington. Picks it off as it bounces off Gage Hayden. He fumbled the football. Who's got the football?
Of the Aces, there's a flag on the play.
Aces have the football on the interception, and that should end it.
Gesturing that it is the ball of the Owensboro Catholic Aces with 1:17 left to
The ball bounced off of Gage Hayden's shoulder pad, and Sam Harrington picks it off. So with 1:17 to go, Calicut will take over after the interception. There was a flag on the play. Let's see what the flag is.
I do believe it's on Apollo.
It's a personal foul on a targeting call on Apollo, and that should wrap it
It's
up.
a personal foul. I believe it's targeting.
Catholic High should be able to take a couple knees and wrap this one up.
Yard line of Apollo High School with 1:17 left to go in the 4th quarter.
But what a game. 33-30 with 1:17 left to go. Clark had Hayden on the slant, threw it a little bit behind him. It bounced off his shoulder pad, popped up in the air, and Sam Harrington makes a big, huge interception. And Apollo, or the Calicut, will line up in victory formation, take a couple knees, and should be able to wrap this one up. As Harts takes a knee here, and now I think Apollo, who had one timeout left, will take it.
The Aces will have to take a knee. It'll be 2nd and 10 as the second.
And so Apollo, Owensboro Calicut will win their 3rd straight game after falling 0-2 to start the year, and more importantly, also go 2-1 in the city county.
Wins over Apollo and Owensboro.
Yep, and with Owensboro beating Davis County tonight, all of a sudden, the teams that could have one loss, it's looking better and better for Calicut to pick up that city county title.
Way better than it did before the game started, for sure.
Yeah, so 5 play clock. He'll snap it right at 1. He'll drop back and take a knee. And that will be, now Apollo will use their timeout here.
Knee brings up 3rd and 12. For
So it'll be
Aces.
33.2 seconds left.
Out.
As Owensboro Calicut with the huge 33-30 lead. And I tell you what a game, though, on both sides. As it was a game of runs on both sides, with Calicut dominating the early first quarter, early first half, then Apollo coming back. Started the second half, it was Calicut completely dominating, run out 20-0 in the second half. Then Apollo scoring twice in the last 5 minutes, and then got the ball back with a chance to either tie or take the lead. Then the big interception by Sam Harrington.
Move it over to Rash Stadium on the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. Trayvon Green just went Lamar Jackson mode and hurdled someone to score the touchdown. 42-14, Red Devils lead late in the 3rd. And this one's about to wrap up here on our moredeals.com game of the week. It would seem the Aces is going to need to take a knee here.
So you got the number 5 ranked team and 6 ranked team, Owensboro Catholic and Owensboro, taking down the number 1 and 2 ranked team in the poll this week.
And number 1, 2, 3, and 4 at last check are all going to lose. So it looks like Catholic may move up to that 1 spot.
Catholic High making a name to try to get the number 1 spot. 33-30 with just 33.2 seconds left to go.
Aces trying to make sure they do everything correct. Don't want to, no reason to make a mistake here.
Should be able to take 1 knee here. They're in the I formation. And we're going to get a delay of game penalty. No, Aces take a timeout. They were actually going to run Vaughn on a sweep there. I'm just surprised you're running there. Where if you just had to put the ball on the ground.
If he puts the ball on the ground, somebody picks it up and takes it to the house, that would be a horrible way to lose the ball game. When I think you can just knee it.
Yeah, I think you just knee it here.
For sponsoring tonight's game. Remember to follow Apollo Athletics on Twitter @AthleticsApollo and on Instagram AHS Eagles Athletics.
So we got a timeout here. It's 31.8 seconds left to go. Even if you take a knee, I don't understand running the ball there. I don't understand it.
Only bad things could have happened.
Yeah.
You might have put another 6 on the board, but you don't need them. The thing you don't need for sure is Apollo picking it up and putting 6 on the board, because you got a win right now locked up.
And they're coming back. Let's see if they come back out in the I, or if it looks like they're coming back out in the I again. Unless they're just going to have Vaughn run to his right and then just slide down, trying to run some time off the clock so you don't have to punt. That may be what they're doing.
Under center. See, this is 3rd down. You just run the sneak, get up real slow. Yeah. Because they can't.
They snap it, and they're going to hand it off to Vaughn. He's drilled in the backfield. But and that by the time they spot the ball, that should end it. And that is going to end it here. So now there's only 19 seconds left to go. So Owensboro Catholic High will come into Apollo here and take a 33-30 victory over the Eagles. And so here on Homer's Radio Network and the Don Moore Game of the Week. And we'll take a short break and be back with a wrap-up in just a few moments.
Snap, kicks up, it's good! It's good works in football, but when you're shopping price, you want the best. And that's More Value Price. No stumbling, no fumbling. Take it to the house with moredeals.com.
And welcome back to the Homer's Radio and the Don Moore Game of the Week. You just listened to Owensboro Catholic taking a 33-30 victory here at Apollo. And it was a game of runs, Brandon, as Catholic scored the first 13 points. Then Apollo ran off 17. Then Catholic ran off 20. And then Apollo ran off 13. And had a chance to either tie or win the game late with the football and 2 minutes left. But Gage Hayden, on a throw behind him off his shoulder pad, popped up in the air, and Sam Harrington had the interception to seal the deal for Catholic. And what a game for the 1 versus 5 here in the Game of the Week. It lived up to all the billing.
Yeah, it couldn't have got much better than that ball game. An instant classic as the Aces get the win over number 1 Apollo.
Vaughn Williams, the star in the second half, as he goes for 187 yards in the game, 2 touchdowns, 177 of those yards in the second half, as the Catholic Aces, their linemen and Vaughn Williams running through tackles, was the star. McKenzie led Apollo. He finished with 145 yards and a touchdown, but it was turnovers as Apollo turned it over 3 times, a 4th time on downs. Catholic High just had the 1 turnover, a huge interception by Gage Hayden to get Apollo back into it, but it just wasn't to be, as the Aces will drop to 4-1. The Aces will move to 3-2, 2-1 in the city county. Apollo drops to 4-1, 0-1 in the city county. But these are 2 good football teams worthy of their high rankings in the Shelby Will Entire rankings.
Absolutely, and remind everyone listening to check out Homer's show this Monday, 7 p.m. as we'll have a brand new top 10 Shelby's Will Entire team. Is going to be a lot of shakeups as 1 through 4 all lost tonight. We'll also preview all the games for week 6, review all the games from week 5, do some 3-point stance, 3rd region fantasy football scoring. I think Vaughn Williams is going to have quite a night on the Legends of Fantasy Football scoreboard.
He will have a night.
But for Brandon Ward, or for Vic Evans, I'm Brandon Ward. Rilla style.